low-value men.
The hijacker's passport was found blocks from the World Trade Center crash site. You can believe that. You can believe that. You can believe that.
Contracted COVID, but says with a mixture of medicines, including the controversial horse dewormer that has poisoned hundreds of people nationwide, he's now recovered.
He was the best guy around.
What about the people he murdered?
What murder?
From the headlines to the whispers dark, low value mail, we'll get tomorrow. Low value mail at 9 o'clock. Where truth and fiction take a walk.
Why don't you swear on the Bible that you walked on the moon? You're a coward and a liar and a thief.
Our stories are.
Welcome back, everybody, to an all-new episode of the Low Value Mail. It's episode number 169 on this Monday, December 15th, 2025, the year of our Lord. Likely what is to be the final episode of the year, actually. Look at us. I thought I was going to have an episode next week. However, it looks like we now have to film 2 episodes of the Boys Cast on Monday. And I don't think it's going to work out. But I'll hopefully do a bathhouse next Tuesday to make it up to the Scroats. God willing. Someone says great mandolin playing there. It's all AI. It's all AI. Nothing is fucking real anymore. But welcome back, everybody. Tonight on the show, we're talking about the Sydney terror attack, the U.S. anti-Semitism czar, oh no, and briefly Rob Reiner. More Donald Trump than Rob Reiner. And as always, once the phone lines are open, no guests tonight, once the phone lines are open, as always, you can call in about anything you'd like. There are no rules other than don't be boring. And as always, you can support the show by liking the stream, sharing with a friend, leave a comment, or patreon.com/lowvaluemail. Or if you're over on Spotify, follow the page. They have assured me that will help. And I know I said there would be a guest this week. However, I couldn't find really a guest that I liked. I've been fucking knee deep in the analytics of this show, kind of going over what's kind of working, what's kind of not working. Seems like having guests for the sake of having guests doesn't really help anything. And like I mentioned maybe a couple weeks ago, half of these guests I'm bored out of my fucking mind with, and I go, I wouldn't watch this show if I was watching the show and this guest came on. And you try things out, see how they do, but that's kind of the consensus I've reached is, some guests are great, don't get me wrong. But some guests are just fucking absolute snooze shows. That's the Canadian coming out at me. Someone says, is Danny a deadhead? Is Turkish Danny a deadhead? I do like the Grateful Dead. Yeah, I do. Confirmed. I don't know if I'd full out call myself a deadhead, although literally half the sweaters I own are all Grateful Dead lot sweaters. So, all right. Let's get to it. And like I mentioned, the phone lines will be open all show. You can we can do a little prediction thing too. If you have any predictions for 2026, you can drop them. And by drop them, I mean call in and let me know. And as always, if you're a lurker of the show, you're a passive observer, maybe you get nervous. You go, I would just be so nervous calling into a show. No need to be nervous. We're all friends here. But I like talking to people who have never called in. I do feel like the more I think about the guest thing, and I don't want to pump your tires, callers / listeners, but you guys are honestly, many of you, some of you not, but many of you are legitimately more interesting than most guests I bring on. I think that's a fact. And, it might just be little shit. Like, the guy called in last week telling, the military guy, I believe he was one of the final callers of the night, telling me about all these scams that Nigerians are running where they basically come join the military and then they get too fat to be in the military so that they can collect disability for the rest of their lives so they can go back to Kenya. They weren't Nigerians, they were Kenyans. So I go, that shit is more interesting than some guy coming on here. I'm telling you, I don't think I can ever talk about the fucking occult again for the rest of my life. I don't give a shit. The more I think about the occult stuff, I go, that is just crystals for guys. That's all that stuff is. I go, ooh, the occult. Ooh, isn't that scary? The occult. I don't know. Maybe it's just me. Maybe you guys like the occult. I don't know. Super chatter over here, and I appreciate all your super chats. Blankers9442 says, has Danny heard about Michael Ma, the CCP rat? Was he like the one involved with like the Liberal Party, like with where they were basically threatening his family? I try and keep up on my Canadian news, but I don't know. But again, perfect thing. Call in, tell me about Michael Ma, the CCP rat. Who would not want to hear about the CCP rat, Michael Ma? Also, for some reason, YouTube changed this whole panel on me. I don't know why. But now there's a whole new panel. There's a toggle here that says dual stream vertical. But I feel like if I click it, it'll fuck something up. So I'm not going to click it. It's actually grayed out, so I can't. But yeah, anyways. Regardless, I will have guests on. Someone's calling in from Australia. Hold your fucking horses. The phone lines are not open yet. But please do call back in 15 minutes. And I will talk to you. I would love to talk to somebody from Australia because this is the first thing I was going to talk about today is, of course, Sydney, Australia. Big story in the news. On the weekend, for those of you who do not know, a Muslim father and son. Good to see father and son doing stuff together, IRL. None of that, just both of them just on their phones. It's good to see them getting out, doing stuff. Muslim father and son killed 15 Jews in Sydney, Australia. 15 Jews. What do you need 25 Jews for? In Sydney, Australia, who are celebrating the first night of Hanukkah. Happy Hanukkah to all those who celebrate. Probably 3 of you. Joe the lawyer might be 2 of them. The son had been previously investigated for ties to ISIS. However, the pair were in illegal possession of 6 different guns. And in a twist, the shooter was stopped by a different Muslim man named Ahmed Al-Ahmed, a name so nice they named him twice, who is now being branded a hero for saving many lives. A GoFundMe set up for him is up to, last I checked, $1.8 million. And I can only think and this might be my Jew brain in action, but I can only think how much higher it would be had he been just yelling the N-word the entire time. Like when he went to tackle him and he's just like, I wish I had a beep button, a little bleep button on here. He'd be killing it. He'd be literally, we'd talking tens of millions of dollars had he just had the fucking stones to say the N-word. It wouldn't have been quite appropriate. But then again, people, I did tweet this and someone said they haven't released the audio. So it is possible. Now, I was always under the impression, and this Australian caller who just called in, even though the phone lines were not open, but they will be open soon. I was always under the impression that guns were nearly non-existent in Australia. However, based upon my research, 1 million Australians own a combined over roughly 4 million guns. So there's guns out there. Now, that's likely to change as the Australian government is already, the bodies are not even cold, already introducing new gun measures, specifically a national firearms registry, limiting the number of guns one person can own, limiting the type of guns, and modifications, to name just a few. I know the Americans watching this or listening right now are absolutely cringing at the idea of such a thing happening on their shores. And it will not. It will not. Hopefully. We'll see. Probably not, though. 4 police officers, apparently, were on site, did absolutely nothing for 20 minutes, even though Australian police do carry guns. I wasn't sure. Had to look that up. It's kind of a Uvalde situation. And, of course, without fail, the false flag tards are out in full effect on the internet. The false flag tards are out in full effect on the internet. If you don't believe me, If you think this is just like, oh, it's just a couple of them, go on Twitter. Search the term false flag. Go on Facebook. It's there too. It's everywhere. And, you know, even though there's literally multiple videos of this father and son firing their guns, of course, many people are just like, the Jews. The Jews are up to it again with their false flags. And this kind of brings me to a different point, which, and I am curious your thoughts on this, because, you know, as someone who hosts a show where I platform them, I just talk to, you know, conspiracy theorists, I consider myself, certainly. I mean, again, we all figured out that you go, there's definitely conspiracies. Conspiracy theorists are sometimes right. We know there are conspiracies. We know they exist. But I have been thinking about this a lot. Maybe you can agree with me, you can disagree with me. I would like to hear from you regardless. My gut feeling here is that conspiracy theories may be culturally jumping the shark. Now, I hate to say it, but it is a feeling I have. And, you know, COVID and to a lesser extent Epstein, that might be the high water mark for conspiracy theorists as a whole. Now, obviously, they will always exist. There will always be conspiracies as long as there's any sort of organized government. And look, maybe it's all and up. Maybe that maybe here we go. We're fucking, the brain's turning again. We go, maybe this is all and up. Honestly, if I wanted to discredit conspiracy theorists, this is exactly what I would do. And it's probably not even that expensive, right? Every time anything happens, you just have a swarm of bot accounts and they start commenting the most retarded shit you could think of, because it really does help discredit everyone pushing really any conspiracy at all. Which, of course, as we know, is where the term conspiracy theorist even comes from, related to, you know, the JFK assassination. So this might just be more of the same old shit with a, you know, a modern spin on it. But I don't think that's what's going on. For the most part, from what I can see, most of these people are real who are commenting on this stuff. I don't think, you know, when I see these accounts on Facebook, which get insane engagement, just basically being like, this is a Jewish false flag, Israeli false flag. Like, this guy's not an actor. He's not doing a bit. At least I don't think so. And the people in his comments are pretty earnest about this stuff. And they are poisoning the well for, you know, meat and potato conspiracy theorists, if you will. But then, who else poisoned the wells? All right, I'm totally back. Disregard everything I said. Disregard everything I said. We know who poisons the wells. But seriously, though, this new brand of conspiracy theorists, which I feel like I've been noticing, mostly post October 7th, it is accelerated. There's an accelerationist aspect to this post the Charlie Kirk assassination. These ones are extra retarded. Like, I made a video last week sometime. I made a video, and I think on Thursday I made a video. It was Tyler Robinson was in court. He's the guy who allegedly shot Charlie Kirk. He was talking to his lawyer. I did like an overdub, like a pretty standard comedy overdub video. These things have been done millions of times, okay? I'm not the creator of this genre. I just thought it would be funny. And in it, I'm kind of making fun of Candace Owens' fans, who are mostly retarded, making fun of Candace Owens a little bit. It's a minute long, right? The amount of people, you know, it probably has a few million views on between Facebook and Instagram and Twitter. The amount of people who feel the need to comment on something that is so blatantly, obviously a joke and fake, and they have to make sure to comment. They go, this is obviously fake. Like, but there are some people who probably, and you know, I'm not going to say there's zero people who believe this is real. Some people do believe it's real. But just the notion that these people are like, oh, man, you can't get anything past me. This is so fake. You're like, yeah? Wow. Very impressive. You might say some of these people, the false flag tards, they have some kind of derangement syndrome. Maybe a, dare I say, Jewish or Israel one. But here's the thing. Conspiracy theories used to be things that were, for the most part, unverifiable, right? That's partially what made them fun, is you were really never getting the answer. Maybe you said you were getting the answer, but you knew you're not getting the answer. And that's what allows you to kind of just talk about it and theorize, if you will, about all these potentialities, because you know you're not getting the answer. You could just talk about them at length. You could have evidence, but you knew you were never getting a smoking gun. You know, and I'm sure some people are like, well, the JFK one's coming. JFK one's not coming. It's not coming. Now it's shit that's all verifiable, and normie people see this, and they just be like, these people are all retarded. This is abjectly retarded stuff. Even, I mean, you have Nick Fuentes denouncing you at this point and calling you retarded, at which point you know you're probably in trouble as a cohort. And I, to a degree, include myself in this, right? I do include myself. And to think of all the goodwill gained during COVID being absolutely squandered right now is a real shame. It is a real shame, which brings me to my next and very related point. Did you guys know America had an anti-Semitism czar? Well, they do. His name is Yehuda Kaploun. And every taxpayer in the U.S. probably pays, I would say, 1 penny a year to fund this shit. Funny number, but it probably is about that. I would think it's somewhere about that. And don't worry, if you're opposed to this, your money's being well spent, because it's definitely not making that shit go down. That's for sure. Here's a short video of him. I even got a video. Let's hope this plays.
The president is sending a very strong message. Think about it. Ironically, I get off a plane. I am the president's representative, and I am walking off with a yarmulke, and I have kosher food, and embassies will have kosher food. It is a game changer. The appointment is a game changer. And it's not about history. It's about education. And how do we educate? Indonesia has 350 million Muslims living in the country. How do we change their textbooks? How do we hold the people in Gaza accountable that if America is paying for UN textbooks and supposedly the changes are made, why are those textbooks not being used, and why are they using their old textbooks? We have to teach people it's not okay to educate your kids to be a martyr. Okay? And we have to hold those countries accountable. How do we battle anti-Semitism on
there's no sound.
The internet?
Fantastic.
How are we doing better on algorithms? What companies...
That didn't work out. God damn it. All right, well, I don't know. There's no sound. I don't know why there's no sound. It shows sound. I hear it. But there's no sound. All right, well, basically, I'll have to give you the cliff notes of this. And I'm now going to have to edit that out, because that was just dead air for 45 seconds. Essentially, what the man is saying, this guy, the anti-Semitism czar, is that censorship is coming. They're going to be working with big tech, the algorithms, all this stuff. And it's the president wants this. The Secretary of State wants it. It sounds like the fun is over, boys. And that includes me, by the way. Working hand in hand with big tech, which, don't forget, almost exclusively owned by Jews. Google, Meta, Facebook, now TikTok. I don't know if you throw YouTube in there. I guess that Google owns that. ChatGPT. It's not looking good. And I predicted earlier this year that this era of unfettered speech online was probably going to be coming to a close. I've also said before, I don't get why the big tech platforms are allowing this, considering their previous track records. If you recall what shit was like 3 years ago, they literally went from the most heavy-handed moderation to what feels like zero moderation at all. Which, again, I'm fine with the zero moderation. I just think something's up. I go, you guys went from so much moderation to none? I don't know. Again, the reason I even stand before you is because I see shit like this and I go, something is up here. I don't know what it is, but something's up. And look, this brings me no joy to say, as the type of content I like to make was constantly getting taken down. The Jew song, man, I couldn't put that anywhere. Now it goes viral everywhere. Weird. It's great that they're so cool. I mean, I had my comedy YouTube channel demonetized. My main channel, it's like 40,000+ subscribers on there, over literally nothing. It was the most nothing clip about Ted Kaczynski from an episode of The Bathhouse 2 years ago. And let me tell you what, in an incredibly odd twist, last Friday, my birthday of all days, poof, my channel gets magically remonetized. I didn't ask for it. I'm not complaining about it, but I didn't ask for it. I mean, I had asked for it 2 years ago, but then they were very much just like, that's the end of the road for you, Sonny Jim. That's it. You will never be monetized again. And then boom, they just remonetized. I don't know what's going on. I don't know what it means. I'm like the double rainbow guy. I'm like, what does this mean? I don't know. But mark my words, the shit that we've all been enjoying for the last 2 years, maybe? Has it been 2 years? Yeah. No. I mean, my channel got demonetized 2 years ago, about 2.5 years ago. Really, a year. It's probably since Trump got reelected. So we're probably looking at a year of just like, we've been having a good time on the internet. Probably not going to last. And I say that with no glee whatsoever, because I know this will affect me. Because to them, and you're not going to like this, but to them, I'm just a white guy. I'm just a white guy saying bad things. They don't distinguish. They're not like, oh, you're Jewish. Okay, yeah, go have fun. No. I'm a white guy to them. And the Dems, whenever they take back power, and they will take back power, the hammer's coming down. Now, last thing, actually, I'll open the phone lines now so you guys can get in here. Because I want to hear from you. Yes, I do. Phone lines are open. 1-888-949-2969. Gerard is answering the phones. Let's hear it. I haven't checked the comments yet, so we'll see. Rob Reiner murdered yesterday in cold blood by his son. Him and his wife had their necks slit by their own son, who's, by all accounts, a piece of shit drug addict. No offense to any piece of shit drug addicts who are currently listening to the show, but he's kind of next level. Now, is this another Jewish false flag? It's a good question. Let me check the early life section of Rob Reiner. Oh, yeah, early life section? That's probably not going to be around for too long. I don't need to. He's Jewish. And I only even bring this up because I'm like, this is more like, I know this is like a crazy Hollywood story, I guess. I mean, people get murdered all the time in this country. I only bring this up because Trump had arguably one of the most unhinged replies to this that I've ever seen. And the phone lines are lighting up. Donald Trump replied today. He said, a very sad thing happened last night in Hollywood. Rob Reiner, a tortured and struggling, but once very talented movie director and comedy star, has passed away together with his wife, Michelle, reportedly due to the anger he caused others through his massive, unyielding, and incurable affliction with a mind-crippling disease known as Trump derangement syndrome, sometimes referred to as TDS. He was known to have driven people crazy by his raging obsession of President Donald J. Trump, with his obvious paranoia reaching new heights as the Trump administration surpassed all goals and expectations of greatness. And with the golden age of America upon us, perhaps like never before. May Rob and Michelle rest in peace. A big yikes, Donald Trump. That is like what we like to call in the biz a big yikes. And now conservatives are actually mostly denouncing Trump for this because it is pretty tasteless. Guy got murdered by his fucking piece of shit drug addict son. And he's like, you know what really killed him? Trump derangement syndrome. But I will say, between shit like this, little notes like this from Trump, the fact that he hasn't fixed inflation, maybe he has where you live, but I can tell you inflation is not fixed where I live. Between this, the inflation, and the Candace Owens turning point beef, conservatives are scoring just one own goal after another. It's they can't, and again, I understand they're not a monolith. Some people don't care about winning elections. There's a lot going on, obviously. But these are absolute gifts to the Democratic Party. Okay. That's all for me. We're going to take some calls. Let me just read these super chats in case I missed them. Where are these things? Where do they put them now? And the phone lines are, and please stay on the line. I will get to you. Poison 1553 says, has a strong black woman, perhaps Candace Owens, spoken about her conspiracy on this terror attack? I don't know if she said anything. And then Dash 721 says, sound was fine. What do you mean the sound was fine? Are you fucking serious? You guys could hear that video? Dev16 says, love the show, Danny. Please use this money to finance Erica Kirk's Shabbat dinner ticket. I don't think you need a ticket for Shabbat dinner. I haven't been to one in a very long time. Have I been to one ever? That's a good question, actually. I don't know. Got me. You guys got me. Well, this is what happens when your producer is not in the studio with you. This is the kind of shit that happens. I should have just gone with my gut. But I didn't. Anyways, I'm going to take some calls. Before I do, again, like and subscribe to the channel. I was hoping to get 10,000 subscribers on the channel. It's not going to happen this year. We'll get there soon. Spotify listeners, make sure to follow the channel. And new bathhouse tomorrow night. We'll be back, God willing. It should be good. So if it's not my fault. But I don't have any stand-up, and we should be good for the bathhouse. And support the show, patreon.com/low-value-mail, MAIL. Let's go to Australia. I fucking suck at accents. But let's do it. Please unmute yourself. Please. Oh, you can sign up for my mailing list. I got a bunch of shows coming up. Pittsburgh, Chicago, Detroit, Fort Worth, DannyComedy.com. Sign up for the mailing list. I'll have ticket links up soon. This fucking bleeding drongo. That was better. He's not picking up. He's not unmuting himself. They probably have to, in Australia, it's like how the water goes down the thing where they have to do it opposite. Is that what it is? Guys, just kill me already. I want to talk to this guy from Australia, but he won't unmute himself. And then when I go to unmute somebody else, of course, he's going to unmute himself. And the exact moment, here we go. Hello! You're on Low Value Mail. Who am I speaking with?
Hi, Danny. This is Phil from Sydney.
Phil from Sydney. What's the tone on the ground in Sydney right now?
Oh, it's pretty grim. I can tell you, it's pretty grim.
Yeah, it's probably not the news that you guys want to be making right now.
No, I mean, it's not really a surprise. We've had other incidents in the past, and I'm sure we'll have other incidents again.
And when you say incidents, are you referring to shootings specifically or Muslim terror attacks?
Both.
Okay.
Both.
Okay.
I used to be a cop in the police department here.
Oh, wow.
And some years ago, used to work at the police headquarters. One Friday afternoon, a young Muslim kid with a gun shot one of my colleagues when he was leaving work.
Wow. That's I'm sorry to hear that. Were they did they survive?
No. He was killed. Shot and killed. He was an accountant at headquarters. A Chinese guy. But he was just picked at random. We've had other incidents here in the past.
Yeah. And is this kind of spurring a national conversation about immigration, similar to what most countries are kind of Western countries are having right now? Is this kind of fueling that fire?
Well, it probably will, but the conversation's been happening for a while.
Yeah. I understand that, but just if it's kind of cranking it up a bit.
And you probably saw that the guy who tackled one of the shooters,
also Muslim,
was that's right. But initially, at first, people were saying, "Oh no, he's a Christian Maronite."
I saw that. Well, there was some AI page that was like his name was Edward Crabtree, which I don't know why these things exist. Again, if they're just meant to muddy the waters, or if people just think like there's money to be made getting these clicks during something like this, I don't know. But originally it was like a guy named Edward Crabtree, and then they were like he's a Maronite Christian, but now he's a Muslim guy. He must be the biggest hero in Australia right now, next to like some guy who plays cricket or like makes pies or something.
Yeah. I mean, it was incredibly brave what he did, and unless you've been in that sort of life or death situation, you don't know what you're going to do. Whether it's going to be fight or flight, and there's been some criticism of why didn't he shoot him? Well, it's good to say in hindsight, but in that situation, you're not really in control of what you're doing. You're just on autopilot.
Right. And I imagine, you could correct me if I'm wrong, but I heard, I could be wrong on this, but because there was, when they subdued the two terrorists, I guess one of them was killed, and then a guy came and like stomped one of the others in the head or something. Yeah. Did I hear correctly that guy actually got in trouble for that?
I don't think so. I mean,
okay. A lot of rumors flying around. So.
I think I think they were just trying to push him back. At that point, people were really swarming in, and it's amazing how much video there is of the incident out there. And there's one that's a full 10 minutes long.
Yeah.
And a drone footage as well of it.
So you're not of the theory that this was an Israeli false flag attack?
Well, these days I'm open to everything, but it would be, be pretty wild if it was. And certainly as far as the New South Wales police go, they're just not competent enough.
And why is that? Why are they not competent enough? Is it just like easy hiring standards? Are they not trained properly? Is there just not enough crime like this where it really feels like this is something they need to be trained for because these things don't happen that much? Like, what exactly is it?
Well, it's a bit of all of the above, really.
Oh.
And there's not that much serious stuff happens here, so certainly people aren't really trained or equipped for it. And in general, like everywhere, every institution has been corrupted now, and this for me was really revealed during COVID. And
a lot of people.
All the leadership. It's like they're all cut from the same mold now. No matter what the organization is, they're all exactly the same.
Globalists, if you will.
Yeah, pretty much. They go along with everything, all the global homo stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, our Prime Minister is just dreadful. He's like Trudeau without the hair and the good looks or the personality.
Yeah. I mean, you know what, though? There is a benefit to not having those kind of external features because it's much of a harder sell to completely fuck the country over when he's like not doing it with that veneer of charisma.
Well, yeah, but it's depressing how cooked Australia is that people voted him in twice.
Yeah.
And we're kind of like 10 years behind the rest of the world. And where we have the opportunity to look at shit that happens in America or wherever and say, oh, okay, that didn't work, we won't do that. 10 years after the bad idea came out in another country, Australia decides to take it on and follow those footsteps and make the exact same mistakes.
Right. Isn't there a Nazi party that's trying to run currently in Australia? Like essentially like a white nationalist party?
That's right. They're called the NSN. I think the National Socialist.
I think they're National Socialists. Like when I say Nazi, it's not even like a loosely thrown around. Like I believe they refer to themselves as such.
Yeah, they do. They do. Yeah.
Yeah.
And,
now, do you think there will be not necessarily like people rushing over to join maybe a party like that, but like, do you guys kind of go back and forth similar to the United States between like a right wing and a left wing party, or is it similar to Canada where it's about 2/3 left wing parties in power, or even?
Yeah, it's certainly like I think how you describe Canada, and now between the two major parties, you couldn't fit a cigarette paper in between them,
right?
And the only difference really between the left party, the Labor Party, and the so-called Conservative Party is that the Conservative Party moves left at a slightly slower pace. That's about it.
That's about it. And do you own a gun? Are you a gun owner?
No, I don't.
No.
It is. There are a lot of guns here, but it's a real hassle in terms of licensing.
Are they all long guns for the most part? Like hunting?
No, you can have pistols. I've got a friend who's a pistol shooter. But, there are a lot of restrictions in terms of the time to get it, how you store it.
Yeah.
The police can come and inspect the way you store it and that sort of thing. And a few months ago, there was an incident in another state where a guy who's a, what do they call it? In America, you call it those sort of, I can't remember the term, those sort of really independent people who don't believe
like a sovereign citizen.
Yeah, sovereign citizen. He shot and killed 2 cops in Victoria when they raided his house. And he disappeared into the bush and they've never found him.
Really?
But in another state, yeah.
Wow.
In another state, Western Australia, they did a sort of a minority report, is that they went and raided everyone who had sort of beliefs or supported the sovereign citizens and took all their guns from them, regardless if they had criminal records or
they just basically came and snatched everyone's guns up. Now, I imagine, I don't know, what's the sentiment among your average Australian in terms of guns? Do they want there to be no guns, especially post-COVID? Again, I imagine most people were fine with everything that happened during COVID, but is there any sort of is there any sort of move towards something closer to like an American where it's easier to get guns, or are you guys culturally just like we're not a gun culture?
Completely muted. If you look at social media and whatnot, is very anti-gun, and when the Bondi thing happened and the news that night, I did see one of the reporters, he was talking about how it was an AR-15 and blah 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 blah, which it wasn't.
Yeah,
and
it was a bolt action.
Generally, it's a very strong.
Yeah,
bolt action and shotguns. I'm not sure if they were pump action shotguns. But
I think they had one of those as well, and I believe they had pistols as well. They had several guns, but. Yeah, I was always under the impression it was so hard to get guns there, but I guess, like, I very much...
Well, it is. It is. You can get them, but it is. I mean,
but
as I say, there's a lot of red tape.
Right. And you got to think these guys probably, Like, unless you think they were radicalized recently. I know the son was being tracked as part of a member of ISIS 6 years ago. So they really played the long game on this, where, you know, they had these guns, knew that, you know, followed all the rules for fairly lengthy period of time.
Yeah.
Only to do this. I can't imagine they just snapped 3 days ago and were like, we have to do this. It's probably something they were planning.
Yeah, but look, you know, I'm not aware of any sort of manifesto or what their reasoning was. I mean, we can surely, you know, it's hard to reach conclusions, but in terms of, you know, officially we don't know yet.
And so, last thing, what do you think will come of this in Australia? Anything other than probably more restrictions on guns?
Very clear. Yeah, it's very clear straight away. The Prime Minister went to, you know, this sort of blaming this ethereal anti-Semitism, unknown where from, and the far right.
Right. He blamed the far right for this?
Yep.
And
That's what we need to be.
Did anybody question him on that, or is it just, it's kind of a crisis and so you just throw out whatever you want?
Our media is completely unquestioning, and they're just the dictation.
Yeah. How can I ask you one more thing? Actually, this is unrelated. How is the under 16 social media ban coming along?
Well, that's another interesting one as well. Is that
because you were saying you guys kind of do stuff that other countries do, but you're kind of the guinea pigs for this one.
Well, yeah, they've decided to be, you know, leaders in this area, and it's largely driven by the E. Karen. Have you heard of her?
No.
Okay, we've got this woman, they call her the E. Safety Commissioner, and she's known as the E. Karen. She's actually American, and she's an ex-Twitter employee, so I think she's, you know, maybe a jilted Elon mistress or something.
Okay.
Who's got a hard on for cracking down on Twitter and whatever, and she's been driving all this bullshit. And it's hard to tell really what the sentiment is. When I look on social media, 99% against it. But when I think of the average brain dead Australian, particularly the boomers, they're probably all for it. And the culture in Australia has just shifted so hard to the nanny state, and the government will look after you, and there's kind of a bit of a meme going around that if the government introduced a department of arse wiping, within 5 years Australians would be saying, how could I possibly wipe my arse without the government doing it?
So not good. Not the direction of the country, in your opinion, not good.
Economically, socially, we're fucked. It's hard to see how this can ever recover.
Yeah.
Grim.
All right. Well, I'm sorry to hear about that. I'm sorry everything's going on. Thank you for calling in, though. It was great to talk to you. How we going?
Yeah. No, just...
Oh shit! I'm sorry. I'm sorry if you're listening and I accidentally hung up on you. Got to keep it moving along. Logan Sorter, shout out to Logan, dropped a Spotify link. Go follow, review, set up automatic downloads for Danny K. Do it. All right, let's take another call here. Phone lines are open, 1-888-949-2969. We all have all the regulars on the line. We got a bunch of new names I've never seen before, so I'm excited for that. Very much so. And make sure to unmute yourself, and make sure to subscribe to the channel, and make sure to like the channel. People really taking their sweet ass fucking time unmuting themselves tonight, aren't they? Aren't they? Aren't they? What are we doing here? I know. All right. Okay, let's try somebody else. And of course they're going to pick up at the exact same time, because that's always what fucking happens. Is this thing on? Is this broken? Is my unmute button broken tonight? Thing is, too, is you press the... Oh, here we go. Hello, you're on Low Value Mail. Who am I speaking with?
Hello, this
Hi.
is Jorge.
Jorge, what's up, man?
Hey, I just wanted to talk about I'm not sure how familiar you are with like the precious metal market right now. What's going on with that?
I do. I mean, I don't follow it daily, but I know that gold and silver are pretty close to all-time highs. Is that correct?
Correct. Silver is an all-time high. Gold is an all-time high. But here's what I think like the conspiracy part comes in.
Yeah, I mean, I follow a lot of
right?
accounts, and they very much are like, I don't know what this is telling us, but this is telling us something. The smart people will be the ones to figure it out, but this is telling us something, likely some sort of inflationary story.
Yes. Well, it's actually like an open secret. They tell us exactly what's happening. So in the last couple of years in Basel, Switzerland, they did this conference where they made gold a tier 1 asset. So that's the first time that's happened in decades, which is why, the last couple of years, it's been, they've been allowing it to rise because they've already been accumulating the central government. But what's interesting about recently is, so they have the spot price, and that's how much a physical ounce of silver is worth. And that's set by London and the LBMA.
Yep.
And then they have the future price, but with like any other commodity like oil. And
that's a contract.
COMEX.
And that's a contract on physical to buy the physical. But you have to actually receive the delivery of it, right?
Correct. And then what's been changing in recent years is they actually been taking delivery instead of just changing the receipt, because that's what they do forever. They just on the receipt. And for the first, this rarely happens, but it's in backwardation right now, meaning it's much more expensive to get silver if you want it now than if you want it in the future.
Interesting.
So there's like an
that I
arbitrage
did not
rate
know.
going right now.
So
it used to be much bigger. In October, it's still going on now to a lesser extent.
So you could buy but you have to be able to buy physical silver, and is that how it works? And then you could sell it at a later date. But the problem is it's hard to get physical silver.
You would get a COMEX contract and get delivery on it, and then you would sell that to London or Shanghai. But London is really where they need it right now. And in fact, a couple of months ago, or late October, early November, they were actually flying it on jets, which, it's the least economical way to transport silver. It's a heavy metal.
Yeah.
So they really needed it. And then what's changed even more recently is India, they allow it to be an asset for a collateral now, like in the same tier as gold. And that just happened, like in the last week or so.
Interesting. I remember reading at the beginning of the year that the COMEX here in New York was like receiving their biggest deliveries of gold, physical gold ever. Like they were stockpiling it. So what do you think? Do you have any theories as to why this is? What's going on?
Well, they're just all the smart governments, which is like all the big ones. They've been accumulating, especially China. So they're just waiting till they get enough, and then they're going to reprice it the way they have. Like FDR did it like 1932. He collected everyone's gold for $20, and then repriced it at $32 once it was in the government's hands.
Now, isn't it a global commodity? Like, isn't it at the end of the day still just the supply and demand is what sets the price of it?
Yes, but they manipulate it so heavily, specifically with the COMEX. Some of this you could explain away, but it's just very, very unlikely.
Yeah.
So like every day, they trade, I forget what it is. It's like 100. It's the equivalent of what's mined every year in silver. They trade on a daily basis off volume, right? Which it is mathematically possible, but it's not all there.
People are trading it back and forth. Yeah,
exactly. But even if you look at the supply, we've been in a supply deficit for the last 5 years, and it's only going to get worse, due to technology and AI. So what I think is going to happen is that they're already stocking up on it. The big players, and then once they feel they have enough, they're just going to reprice it. And I don't think we're going to go back to a gold standard because that just limits what the governments can do. And, they don't want limits.
Yeah, the credit markets, I don't know how they would operate if It was on a gold standard, but like I don't know how you just like unravel everything they do. So are you saying they're going to do similar to FDR or whatever, where they're going to call in everyone's gold and say like you're no longer allowed to own?
I don't think they're even going to call it in because most people don't have any, especially Americans.
Mm-hmm.
So the government still has way more than the people does. If it's a different country like India, like I don't know what those boys are up to because the people over there have all the gold and the government has next to nothing. So their thing might be a little bit different, but every Western government, no one has precious metals, on hand.
No,
so
I mean
they're just going to reprice it.
Yeah, I was going to say in an absolute genius move, Justin Trudeau, when he was Prime Minister of Canada, sold all of Canada's gold, all of it.
Yep. England did the same thing, like shortly after, like 9/11. During that era, a lot of them did that.
What a fucking
but
dumb,
I mean,
dummy.
I think a lot of them are just buying secretly. The same way China has been doing that. We've been accusing them, which I do believe they are.
Yeah.
But I don't see why any other government wouldn't do the same. They use their fake money to buy real assets. Gresham's law. That's what I would do.
Right. Smart.
So.
Yeah, I mean I know a lot of people think that they're like, this is just telling us that there's going to be incredibly inflationary environment. That's kind of
and I do agree with that.
Basic theory, which is not good. That is not what this country or any country probably wants right now. Is everything the inflation to ramp up. So,
but I think we're going to go to a deflationary period first, like by design, similar to the Great Depression. And I think that for two reasons. One, to shake off everyone who's invested, they're going to cash out. Mm-hmm. And then two, now they have a reason to inflate.
Right.
Because right now they don't have a reason, and everyone's aware of that.
Yeah.
So they can't just do it outright. We need to beg for it, which is what happens, every time.
Right. Just once there's something so bad that people are like, can you please turn on the money printer? Bail us out, essentially.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah, but that's it. I just wanted to bring that up to you.
Cool. Thanks for calling in. Appreciate it. All right, phone lines are open. 1-888-949-2969. Let's go to Slav. Let's see what Slav, I know for a fact. He unmutes his shit instantly. It's what I love about you, Slav. What's up?
Hey, what's going on?
Yo.
Hey, so just a heads up to Gerard. He might have to call back in to verify what I'm saying. First off, that so-called quote-unquote Australian, he didn't sound actually Australian.
Sounded pretty Australian to me.
No, he can have an Australian phone number. But if he didn't sound like an actual Australian, and you know what I mean.
You're saying that guy was not a white Australian, just to clarify.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I mean,
I would disagree with you. That guy sounded. If I had to guess, I would say.
Second of all, he's an Australian pig. So I know exactly what he did during the China virus time. So fuck him.
Well, he seemed pretty critical of the COVID stuff. I don't think he was happy about that. And he said he's a former police officer.
He played along. He needed to keep his job. So they're all fucking cucked. And then on top of that, he talked about the problem is this far-right. Like, motherfucker, Danny, explain to me, what was anti-Semitic about this beach incident?
They targeted Jews at a Hanukkah thing. I mean, when a Muslim goes and runs down a Christian market, do you not say that's anti-Christian?
Before this whole incident, you know what the biggest anti-Semitic incidents were in Australia?
No, tell me.
It was Australians protesting migration. You know who's facilitating the migration of all these Browns?
Tell me.
Take a guess.
My guess would be some Christian NGO.
Wow, you're funny. Real funny, bro. No, it's the Jews.
It's always.
I'm sorry, but when Australian nationalist anti-migration groups are being labeled anti-Semitic, and that is the impetus that they get thrown into jail for. Like, who's that bald guy with the mustache? Sewell?
That's Sewell, I think. That's who I was talking about. Who's trying to get his party recognized so he can run for office.
Yeah. So if all of these fucking Hebes had kept their mouths shut and let all of these actual Australians who come from the stock, who made Australia a modern nation. Remember, what does everyone make the joke about Australia? Oh, you're all of Her Majesty's reprobates. You're all criminals.
Yeah.
Stripped off from. Yeah, guess what? All these low-hung, all these low-dunk, retarded, alcoholic reprobates in 200 years created a modern civilization on a rock on the bottom of the fucking earth. They did that shit in 200 years.
Mm-hmm.
And they're the ones telling y'all, stop. This started in the 90s. It started with that movie, with that Russell Crowe movie, Romper, Stomper. Shout out Dylan. Tell me about that. They were the ones who were first protesting about all these squinty-eyed motherfuckers from China and Vietnam coming in. And they're like, oh, no, they're like...
Asian migration could not have started in the 90s.
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. You give somebody whose skin ain't like yours an inch, or whose faith values ain't like yours. If they don't, you give them an inch, they taking a mile, or for them, 1.6 kilometers.
Yeah,
the clicks. Yeah,
the geographer and you.
Now you can interpret is what I'm saying as victim blaming, but hey. The Jews hold defense of, all this anti-Semitism from all these Muslims. It's like, great, all your whole right-wing faction of Jews are supporting literally all of the, I don't care if you call it a war, a military operation, this, that, or the other. They're displacing all these people. They're radicalizing all the kids whose parents or uncles or aunts and shit get killed, and then they're like stuck in between. Well, we got all these fucking IDF deliberately shooting us, and then we got motherfuckers who look like me, but they, for some reason, they have Hebrew accents while they're saying that they're Hamas.
What are you saying
and
exactly?
Most people can't even.
You lost me.
I'm saying, I am literally saying everything up until the point of victim blaming.
Everything up until the point of victim blaming. I mean, I understand your, I don't know if it's conservative values where you want things to remain like they were, but that ship has sailed. That, like, I want to go back to 1950, that's over.
No, it ain't 1950s. Danny, if you look at the immigration laws of Australia, it was up until, like, the mid-2000s. They had the strictest immigration laws. Like, if you wanted to be moved to Australia to live there, not like come and visit for vacation, or come.
That was up until I asked Gemini this because I saw Dylan's comment, and it says there was a white Australia policy which had heavily restricted non-Europeans, including Asian immigration for decades, which was systemically dismantled between 1949 and 1973. So that was only the 73.
Yeah, but still, it's like.
I mean, I would say that Australia was probably a shithole before 1973.
Oh, really?
I would think so.
You got.
I don't know.
Really? How is that?
Let me look up their GDP.
I mean,
here.
how is it comparable? How is it comparable to Canada? When they literally had the same. How is it comparable to Canada when they had the same stuff? How was Canada in the 70s? They weren't a shit. No. See, here's the thing. That's the problem with you Jews. You guys are all about, GDP. Oh, make sure the line goes up on the graph. No. The wealth of a nation is its society, its culture, its trust.
Well, I mean, to say that GDP is not a factor, that is, a pretty good representation of living standards. Go look at countries with very low GDPs. You go, they live in fucking huts made of straw.
Yeah, and they're not white. That's the issue. That they're not white. There you go. See, now we're on the same page.
Mm-hmm. Well, it says here the 60s were a standout decade with strong growth fueled by mineral trade and manufacturing, peaking with over 7% growth in 1969. So the 60s were a good era, although I think the 60s were pretty good for everybody, and the 70s were bad for everybody. So it's hard to say if they were.
But what is it, like the 90s, bro? That was peak for all white nations. Europe, England, Canada, Australia. I mean, South Africa.
I can't disagree with you there.
I mean, South Africa was. Actually, it was Rhodesia. Rhodesia was the first warning to the world of look what happens when you give these non-whites power. Look what happens when you tailor to these. How do I put this politely? These dissimilar looking.
Sure. Wow, ethnics. That's very, very tactful of you. I mean, I understand what you're saying. Obviously, I'm sure there's a lot of people who share your beliefs on this stuff. I mean, I guess save like electing some. Like the only thing you can really do at this point, I know the remigration thing is very popular now, but America has pretty strict laws on denaturalization. So you're not denaturalizing people. Really, the best you can do at this point is just shut the border.
Well, America had no problem overturning prohibition, which is put into the Constitution. So we can have no problem reinstating the Immigration Act of 1790. And because
you think it's going to be no problem? You think it'll be not a problem to do such a thing?
Oh no, it's gonna be a problem. These people are butthurt. I mean, the people who are already catered to with all these diversity entitlement programs, they still keep bitching. Of course, there's going to be a problem.
By the way, under said whatever naturalization 1790, wouldn't you get sent back to Russia?
No, it's white European.
Oh, you think they're going to just specifically just have a carve out specifically?
It's called latitudes. It's called latitudes.
Latitudes.
It's a latitude thing. I mean, the exception would be made for South Africans, white Botswanans, Australians, the Kiwis, those from like Sandwich Islands, the Germans and Czechs and Polish who live in Brazil and Argentina, Paraguay, Uruguay, and Chile.
You have a master list of the master race.
It is. It's like that Family Guy meme where Peter's driving in a fez hat and the cop is holding like the color card.
Yeah.
Where it's like, it's that. Yeah, basically it's that. You know.
Yeah.
And then you know, after that there'll be secondary tests to see people's backgrounds and actual allegiances.
Sure.
And but
how do you feel about everybody's dual loyalty next summer once the World Cup is in the United States?
Motherfucking soccer is gay as shit. The only reason Ronaldo wins, literally the only reason Ronaldo wins, and people bitch about him, he could do everything and never gets a foul card, is Netanyahu's favorite team and his favorite players. He goes and kisses the wall all the time. I mean,
Netanyahu's favorite player is Ronaldo?
The guy who plays for FC Barcelona, right?
No, he plays in Saudi now.
I don't keep up. No, but he plays for
maybe he did before,
that team, right?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't follow soccer like that.
I mean, for fuck's sake, what was that Tuba guy on the Dolphins?
Yeah, Tua Tagovailoa or whatever.
Yeah, he was like, I want to go. He's like saying, I want to go play in Jerusalem. I'm like, motherfucker, you're talking way too late in the season to,
Well, that's how you know that guy has way too many concussions. Where you're like, do they have American football in Israel?
Well, I mean, Robert Kraft, he drags to Israel like every few years a bunch of coaches and a bunch of players.
Make them go kiss the wall.
I mean, outside of Ethiopians, the most blacks you get in Israel that are foreigners are sports players. It's actual immigration records.
Yeah.
Also, why has there been more talk about the son serving in the IDF, which is posted by the Jerusalem Post?
By who serving in the IDF?
The son, the one who shot up that beach.
You're saying the son of the dad who was of those two terrorists, he served in the IDF?
Yeah, the Jerusalem Post posted this.
That's really?
Yeah. Dude, okay, did you miss the facts for like the last few years? Me, Dylan, and Jared, we only use Israeli and Jewish sources. This is
hold on.
Israel Hamoy and the Jerusalem Post confirmed he served in the IDF. I mean, Israel Hamoy already brags about how they've influenced Trump to push.
Naveed Akram served in the IDF.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
What? Okay. Well, you're gonna have to send me that link.
Dude, it's in
I see the
Jerusalem
Times.
Post.
I see the Times of Israel. Sydney gunman, identified as father and son, reportedly possessed ISIS flag. I don't see anywhere where Naveed.
It's the Jerusalem Post. The Jerusalem Post.
Jerusalem.
Not the Tel Aviv Times. Yeah.
Okay.
Bro, you Danny.
Well, they're. I mean, send it to me. I'm not saying you're lying. I'm trying to find this, and I cannot. I mean, again, I've followed this somewhat.
And then also that
he's
reporter
a Pakistani Australian who served in the IDF.
Have you seen the cannon fodder that IDF chooses to put? Have you never seen any IDF combat footage?
Again,
oh, fucking retarded.
I'm trying to find this thing where it says that this guy, Naveed Akram, served in the IDF, i.e., he's Israeli, and I'm unable to locate it. But drop it in the chat. Drop the link in the chat. I mean, someone must have it.
I can't drop. No, you removed my wrench. I can't drop any links in the chat.
Oh, then DM it. DM it to me somewhere.
Dude, you talk about you don't like moderation, and then you made the Patreon chat moderator that hole.
Yeah, that's funny though. You gotta admit, for those of you not on the Patreon, I made her probably the only girl in the whole chat. You know what? Sometimes you need a little a woman to kind of spruce up the place. You know what I mean?
Yeah, she's sprucing up by what? Removing the accoutrements and the decorations?
She's giving it a female touch, Slav. All right. Dylan says he's going to put it in the Patreon. Okay, put it in the Patreon, Dylan. Put it in the Patreon chat.
Also,
all right, last thing. I got to take another call.
Is it not hilarious that reporter, the bald guy, was also there on October 7th? Well, he's also at this Bondi Beach.
Hey, man, that's like, remember the... what was the thing in the? There was that person who was
and
at
then
the
a Holocaust survivor
who was at Aurora
a Holocaust
and Columbine.
There.
Well, that's not crazy. Why is that at a Hanukkah ceremony?
But dude, it's been 80 years. How many of them are still fucking alive?
I mean, again, when they say they might have been 2 years old at the time.
How hard is it to gas an infant in a camp? It's made for extermination, if it really was.
I mean, they weren't all in camps. They weren't all in extermination camps. Some of them were in ghettos.
Where were they? Where were they, Danny?
What do you mean? Where were they? There was. You think the only people who died in the Holocaust were gassed? Is that what you're implying?
Gassed with what? They were being deloused. The only people who were ever gassed in Europe were by the NKVD, by the Soviet secret police. There was never any gassing.
Okay. All right, Slav. Good talking
to you,
man.
The same.
That's it. That's one of your false flag tards, everybody. I'm looking at the Patreon chat, by the way. If you want to drop this in the Patreon chat, because I would like to see this. This is a fascinating tidbit to me. If the shooter, which I have not seen reported anywhere, even from the false flag tards, we'll actually go to Dylan. Let's hear what he has to say about this. Because even the false flag tards online, I haven't seen them say this. Dylan.
Hey there.
Hello.
First off, Danny, how are you doing?
I'm very well.
Feel safe?
Can you drop this link, please?
I'll have to find it again because I didn't save it. I was only 50-50 on that thing because people are disputing it. Obviously, it's quite a large claim.
I mean, that's
plenty of people that have posted that.
Well, if people posted that. I don't dispute that people would post a doctored Jerusalem Post thing, but like the actual link, I mean, there's no fucking way that a Pakistani Australian served in the IDF within the last 6 years, by the way, because he's only 24. So it would have had to have been within the last 6 years. Probably pretty easy thing to find.
Well,
I would think so.
I had a few things I wanted to talk about. So after the last 24 hours, I know seeing your fellow Jewish comedian slaughtered in his homeland is tragic. So, but at least you have something to talk about.
Who?
Rob Reiner.
Oh, Rob Reiner. Right. I was never really, I guess A Few Good Men was a good movie. I know he had some bangers. They weren't really movies that I was his stuff wasn't really my, and then he kind of lost me with the TDS stuff, I feel. I'm trying to see. I feel like I'm a little too young. Oh, he did The Wolf of Wall Street. That was a pretty good movie, I guess. And Spinal Tap.
And I know you expect me to come on here just joking around and obviously about what happened. But the first thing I wanted to address was this Candace Owens tweet about expecting a 9/11 style attack in the first 2 weeks of December.
Yeah.
And but I think this is completely different from 9/11 because these terrorists obviously do not hate the Australians for their freedom.
Definitely not. Does this count? Is she chalking this one up as vindication for that tweet? Because I saw her getting dunked on. I saw her getting dunked on pretty hard for that tweet, and then it kind of happened, and you go,
Yeah, 2 days before that, and then all of a sudden, what do you know? It's almost like Operation Mockingbird.
Mm-hmm. Now, what are you implying there? Because I guess you kind of put the threads together for me on this one. Because why would people want to confirm her tweet?
So what I think happens is these people, I was talking about this with Jared yesterday, and I've noticed that Tim Dillon has a very strong ability to predict a lot of things, and he's also a lot of times in the higher up circles. And so what I think happens is these people either mention these things and he hears it offhand, or during just Operation Mockingbird kind of stuff, they slowly release things, and then Candace gets good information and then obviously gets some things that make her look like a whack job to discredit her, and then that discredits predicting any of these other events. Or
sure. And I mean, Laura Loomer had a similar prediction, I believe, that there would be
and
some
so
sort
did
of
Rabbi Shmuley.
Yeah.
And people have been talking on Twitter for quite a while about Laura Loomer. Like, why does she keep saying there's going to be another attack? And
I mean, the thing is how often is there some sort of Muslim Islamic terror attack on an annual basis across all Western? I mean, I feel like the UK has one a month. I feel like this is the kind of thing where you just make these broad predictions. You're probably going to be right.
Yeah, there is that. But it is kind of coincidental about this guy, this Arsen Ostrovsky, who I'm assuming you've seen the viral picture of. I have seen the
photo. Yeah. Well, I saw the photo, which I will concede crazy thing to just be covered in blood during a thing like that and take a selfie.
Are you doubting his testimony of being coincidentally in this town for this event with his fellow art students for this clearly
his art students
that you can never let happen again?
I mean, again, the Jewish community is pretty small. It's not so like that in and of itself. I don't just be like, oh, this guy was there.
I wouldn't
like,
think so, because that's all I hear about.
Yeah, but that in and of itself doesn't make me think that's odd. I saw the. Are you referring to the other photo where he's having like blood painted on him?
Well, I'm not sure
because
about
that seems to
one,
be
but
AI.
He definitely looks a little bit. Well, I don't know because people are saying that's not AI, but the one where he takes the photo of himself for sure.
Yeah, no, the one where that's real.
Look.
I agree. Now again, people will say, put yourself. You never know how you'll behave. They said the same thing with Charlie Kirk, where they go, people were behaving oddly after the Charlie Kirk. And again, you probably, there's a lot of people who are like, yeah, these two things confirm that these were both bullshit, which is I understand. But they do say, you never know how you'll behave. But I personally do not see myself covered in blood taking a fucking selfie for the gram. Just me.
So I can touch on this a little bit. I've been at the end of gunpoint from 2 SWAT teams and then 1 bad drug deal. And the first time you have guns pointed at you, it's pretty frightening. I handled it a little bit better than the other guy during the bad deal. But you will be shaking. Once you've kind of had it happen before, you're a little bit more calm. Now it's kind of like I just don't give a shit.
Mm-hmm.
But most people will just kind of be paused and kind of shaking and possibly farting as the other guy was.
That would be me. That would be me. I would just be ripping ass.
Just kind of about to shit yourself.
Yeah.
And so then we've also got Holocaust survivors that were casualties of this very real event.
Mm-hmm.
And this guy was actually born in a gas chamber. He was able to actually collapse his body enough to squeeze under the wooden door due to the lack of the rubber gasket.
Is that true?
Yeah, is actually his mother laid an egg in the gas chamber. he pecked out of the egg, crawled out just in time, and then just scurried under that door.
Okay.
But tragically also,
I'll have to take your word for this. But I'm looking at the selfie right now, but see, the thing is like there's obviously 2 competing things here, because there's everybody like Mossad is this, like these deviant kind of, or devious, like, they're masters of this manipulation, and then you're like, okay, and this guy took a selfie, and then there's a photo of him getting the blood applied to him.
The world is our stage.
Yeah, that is true. But I'm saying saying the world is your stage and then getting caught, I feel, are 2 different things, right? Like, there's one thing to like be like, yeah, the world's is our stage, and then doing these like the pager attacks. There's another to be like just getting blatantly caught. Now, again, I don't think that video. I do believe that photo's AI. Like, it doesn't. I can't imagine that someone would drop the ball so hard that when they're preparing for this false flag.
I don't have to rely on this stuff. It's the wishy-washy stuff. I mean, we can see plenty of other things that are just crazy.
Mm-hmm.
You can see just.
So you're in the false flag camp. That's safe to say.
This is like, you always put me in like Jared and Slav are a little bit more further than I am about this.
Mm-hmm.
I'm more like kind of wait for things to happen. So like when the Tyler Robinson happened, people are saying it's stupid that you blame Israel. It's not like, I don't believe that an Israeli shooter was up on the roof, in the place of Tyler Robinson. I don't believe like it's just cut and dry like that.
Mm-hmm.
I believe they either let these things happen. They know this stuff's going to happen, like October 7th. Clearly, everybody knew this was going to happen. We had people searching and shorting stocks beforehand on October 7th.
Yeah. 9/11.
What you call it, September 11th.
Yeah.
Supposedly we have people searching in Tel Aviv about this Navid guy. Some people are saying that it was, well, look at the time zone difference. So I'm not 100% on that. But I mean, it's clear that like these people do these things and they're just, I have a belief that people that are evil and do these things, they're only genius in the short term. They don't, because they're short term driven. They're not long term driven.
Yeah.
So these are immoral people are more likely to do things that'll get them the short term gain. And then and so they don't really fully think about what's going to happen later on. That's why they always get like, I always think about the guys like in like the Ghostbusters guy that was helping the evil spirit and thinking that he's helping the evil spirit, he's going to get a place at the throne next to him.
Rick
like
Moranis?
The Aladdin movie. No, well, the guy that was like helping the evil guy summon the demon from the picture.
Yeah,
you
yeah.
know, up in the museum, or just like every time it's a story about some guy that like thinks that he's helping evil, he's going to get a seat next to him on the throne, and then somehow he's going to get good boy points and doesn't realize that, wait, I was working with evil. Why would I expect somebody that's not trustworthy to go and fucking treat me good after they get what they want?
Mm-hmm.
So these people are just kind of, like the people from my stance think that, well, the Jews kind of sold out their own people. You've got the Havara agreement, or I'm sorry, Hasbara. Is it Havara?
No, Havara.
Hasbara is the disinformation.
Yeah, Hasbara is the disinformation.
The Havara agreement. And they're selling each other out to the Jews. You got, was it Klaus Schwab? Is that the one that was selling out his own people, or is it the, it was Klaus Schwab.
Klaus Schwab's the World Economic Forum head, formerly.
He was the one that made a bunch of his money by selling out his own people and telling the supposed Nazis where his people were.
Mm-hmm.
So, and then these people expect.
Oh no, that was George
Soros.
Soros.
This is what I was getting at. George Soros. I mean, they're all fucking vampire goons. They all meld together. But like, these people are expecting fucking sympathy. They're all over Twitter right now going, oh, it's another show.
Mm-hmm.
And like, they expect us to fucking cry crocodile tears for this like 10-year-old girl. You know, I'm a fucking dad, but when you go and celebrate, you have 80% of the population of Israel going along with what's going on in Palestine, watching these kids, like, I'm trying not to crack up because, like, not laughing. I mean, I just, like, it's thinking about the photos of these kids, like, horrifically fucked up.
Yeah.
And I'm supposed to feel fucking sorry for you when you bring this shit into the country. You create these NGOs, you cause terrorism, and then, like, I'm supposed to fucking cry for your people when you're constantly talking about, oh, they shouldn't be human shields. Like, nobody fucking sympathizes with you people anymore. I'm so fucking goddamn over this fucking bullshit. I fucking had to go and sell my fucking house so I could goddamn move out of a city that they lie about that's a 23 black population, and it's grossly underreported.
Is that true?
Moving them into my fucking city.
You moved homes just because
I moved to a 3% white or black population area, and boy, I still fucking get a little bit pissed that I have to see them. I'm so fucking tired of these fucking schools bringing in this trash into my fucking goddamn country or my cities. And
but you're wait, are you saying that the Jews brought the blacks?
Oh, buddy.
I'm just clear.
The slave ships, huh?
You think the Jews owned all the slave ships?
A good majority of them.
I don't know about that. I can see them owning a chunk of them. They're industrious people for sure. But so you blame blacks being in America for the most part solely on Jews?
Yeah, it's a fucking fact, dude. It's like they fucking brought them into the fucking country. Like it's all we had to do was like deal with it before was the fucking goddamn rapist scalpers that we supposedly killed with some blankets. And then we have to go and deal with a new fucking. I told you last time about my theory about Prometheus movie, where they keep bringing these people in as a fucking bioweapon, and it just so happens that they get a taste of their own fucking medicine in Australia, because we know obviously that there's such a great long history of Jews and Arabs in Australia, very native to the population. It's strange that these people, you know, can't ever just stay in their own fucking place. Like we constantly.
Well, they never had a place.
Just like, yeah, and we have to constantly move and work up our net worth in society to go and fucking move somewhere else. And then all of a sudden, some fucking rapper moves into your neighborhood when you spent $10 million on a fucking house, or some fucking I'm sick of it, dude.
Yeah.
I just want to fucking like be away from these people. I'm fucking so over it. I don't want to fucking I wake up every day trying not to be Jared and Slav, and I'm like, let's give them a chance. Let's give them a fucking chance. And then I open my phone or I go and drive out of my neighborhood, and I'm like, God fucking damn it.
Can I ask you
every morning,
what percentage of these negative experiences are on your phone versus real life?
Well, we've had, I don't even want to dox myself, but I've had my neighborhood shut down because of a very young YN that decided to carjack a few elderly people.
Okay.
I drive a pretty nice Jaguar that I had an illegal scoping out at my house in 4 a.m. that I had luckily just happened to look at my cameras.
Oh yeah, I remember
and
that
they caught him. Yeah. I'm like, I'm so tired of them, dude. I'm so fucking tired. I just want to like live in my own place. You guys can go shoot yourselves. You can go do whatever gangbanging you want. Smoke your crack. Put on your fake eyelashes. Have a fucking hollering good time. Just fuck off, dude. And
but there must be so many places.
I'll visit you for chicken, dude.
Yeah, there must be so many places in the United States that are similar to the demographics you currently live in. I guess obviously you're like, why should I be forced to move? I certainly understand that.
I lived in a place that was proudly fucking known to be goddamn racist. And I didn't always have these views. And then I have to be exposed to these people, and I see exactly what they're about. And I'm not really exactly thrilled when I go outside and I smell weed. Congrats, by the way, for going to your job at 7 a.m, but do you have to smoke weed in your fucking car while you're doing it? And I have to smell it behind you?
I mean, I agree
that constant little reminders.
Yeah, since New York City legalized weed, the whole city stinks. And it's not even good smelling weed. It's really crappy, gross smelling weed. So I'm with you on that one.
This used to be a white boomer neighborhood I moved into. And then slowly over the last 2 years, they've started just integrating, putting in like new apartment complexes closer to us, and then just like causing the fucking whole place to go to shit. The white people, the old boomers are dying. That brings in these. I've got not an illegal, but a Venezuelan down the street that's been quite an issue.
Music at all hours?
Like, dude, this is a white neighborhood, dude. Like, I'm fucking exhausted from it. And now I have to fucking listen to fucking music that's several doors down, but is shaking my fucking windows while my toddler is trying to sleep.
Why do I have to
fucking do that?
That is a fair grievance. Has there been any incentive, just maybe finding the positives here, for you to kind of work harder and make more money so you can kind of escape these people?
I have a house at the beach now, I'm just selling my house right now.
Oh, okay.
I don't have to work technically, but I do.
That's
So,
good.
like, I'm doing fairly good for myself.
Yeah.
And anywhere I just now that I've got another house down there, I just went and walked into a place and I got a job immediately because I work on very expensive European vehicles.
Yeah, you have a
and
very
I'm highly certified. So
Yeah.
I just walked in there. I told them, I need a job, and they're more than happy to give me about 30% more than I was getting last job. So
and this is at the new area you moved to.
yeah, which is
So it sounds
3%
like these people are doing you a bit of a favor here.
In a way, yes. I mean, you guys can go destroy yourselves. I just don't want to be.
But you're saying
fucking
you're like
wandering 40 years in the desert
Right.
to go and find my fucking homeland.
Yeah. And of course, obviously, should they now move to where you live and you're like, what, I just got to pack up every decade and just move?
Now you understand the problem.
Hey, man, I live in New York City, dude. You don't have to explain some of these things to me. That's for sure. All right. Well,
So,
I'm glad you could get that off your chest, Dylan.
thank you.
Fuck
it. N-words.
Good talking to you. Dylan, everybody. All right. Let's take some more calls. Stay on the line. I'll get to you all, or I'll do my best. How many calls are we over? Phone lines are lighting up. Look at that. Look at that. I like the stream, everybody. Hit that like button. Let's go to the phone lines here. People. Oh, hello. Oh, no. Oh, there we go. Hello. You're on Low Value Mail. Who am I speaking with?
Hello, Danny.
Yeah. Who's this?
Oh, hey, I'm also Danny.
Oh, what's up, Danny? Good to meet you.
Hey, nothing much. It's been a while since I last called. I called probably a couple of years ago.
Okay.
And yeah. Anyway, I'm just calling. I'm just calling because I hope it's not a problem. But I listened to an episode from about a month ago. I think Pablo called in.
Yeah.
Talking about the first generation Mexican American experience.
Yes.
Yeah.
Do you have anything to
so
add to that? Can you confirm it? Deny?
I mean, yeah, I have a couple things I can share. I'm basically in the same boat. My parents came to California from Mexico. My dad started out working in the fields. And what kind of struck me about what Pablo was talking about was basically he kind of referenced a couple of cities in Central California. And I happen to live in that area. I was born and raised.
Yep.
Yeah. So basically the comment about certain neighborhoods being all, Punjabi or all Indian people.
Mm-hmm.
There are parts of the city I live in. I don't want to state which one, but there are parts of the city. Yeah. There are some neighborhoods where sure you'll see like a lot of specifically Punjabi families will move in. So you kind of see them walking around. I think culturally you'll see they typically, sorry about that, my baby. I'm holding my baby right now.
Good.
Yeah. Basically, culturally, you'll see a lot of Punjabi people kind of take a walk after dinner or after meals in general. So you'll see like, it's a city where you basically, it's built for cars. You're getting around on a car. You're not really walking. Very different from, what you're probably used to in New York City.
Sure.
And so sometimes the only people you'll see walking on the sidewalks are Indian people, but it's not like they take over entire neighborhoods or anything. There's like a good diversity in every neighborhood.
Yeah.
So you'll see a lot of Hispanic people. You see white people, you see black people, Indian people. It's not really like, I don't know. It's kind of hyperbolic to hear when Pablo said, they're kind of taking over neighborhoods. I don't know.
I do understand the concept of essentially, birds of a feather, where people do want to live near, it's the reason why there's Little Italies and Chinatowns, where people do want to live with somewhat similar people to a degree. Like I know there's a place outside of where I grew up, Toronto, the city Brampton, where it did start off as basically like, Indian people started moving there, and then Indian people are like, oh, there's Indian people there, we'll move there. And now it's like legitimately, I think it's 70 or 80% Indian. That took time though.
Yeah.
That didn't happen overnight. But anyways, yeah. This is obviously that's his experience. This is your experience. So.
Yeah, and I think to an extent though, what he said is kind of true. At least I grew up in a small town outside of my bigger city, and basically, eventually, my family moved to that bigger city because it's like if you need anything other than just simple groceries, you needed clothes or anything, you had to drive to that bigger city. And I will tell you though, if you look at pictures back in the 50s, or you even read up on the history, the town that I grew up in was mainly white people. It was it's an area of California where people during the Dust Bowl moved here from Oklahoma. That's probably really giving away at least the general region. But so yeah, like
nobody's going to dox
from
you.
the 30s. Yeah,
nobody cares.
So basically,
that much.
from
but
like
I mean,
the
wasn't
30s,
that everywhere? Wasn't that all of America? Was every city was basically mostly white, besides like Detroit or some shit? Maybe Chicago.
Well, the thing is, specifically this area has like a deep history of the people from Oklahoma migrating here, because I think the Grapes of Wrath is based on this area.
Oh,
and
okay.
so it's like a big thing, but throughout the years, I think a lot of Mexican people would move to LA because, like you said, there's a lot of Hispanic people there. They want to be around their own people. But eventually, LA just got really crowded, really expensive, and people started moving up north. And I live in this region called the Central Valley of California. If you look at a map, you can basically see it from space. It looks like a giant sea in the middle of California.
Okay.
And it's all agriculture. Like Pablo said, it's all agriculture. Every city is surrounded by almond orchards, pistachio orchards, just fields, carrots,
Yeah.
I think we produce something like 40% of all of the United States produce.
Wow.
It's all shipped out from here. Yeah. And even some produce is shipped around the world from here to, I don't know, it's a crazy amount of countries or something, but agriculture is a big, big deal, which that's actually one of the points I wanted to kind of discuss, because I'm sure what I hear online is a lot of people who have never been to California, they kind of assume that California is just this like liberal hellhole or whatever I hear it referred to as.
Yeah, but that's mostly just LA, right?
Yeah, well, that's the thing. I think people have this image of California that it's, all super liberal, but that's mainly LA and the San Francisco Bay Area. Now, density-wise, or like population density-wise, those places are very, they're very dense and they're very liberal, you can say. But the rest of California, I think people have no idea. It's very rural. Like I said, a lot of agriculture. You have desert, you have mountains. Like the county that I live in specific is pretty conservative.
Right. I mean, that was when I was in Orange County. I was even surprised, which is, next to LA basically. And they're like, this is like a red county. And it's,
Yeah, that's the...
Yeah. Well, I mean, that's kind of everywhere. Same with New York. Like New York City is about half the population of New York State. But once you get out of New York City, like, you go to Long Island, it's all Trump voters. You go pretty much anywhere that's not New York City, and it's mostly red. But because the city is so big, it just dominates the politics, and it kind of dictates who gets in power.
Well, yeah. And, I've never been to New York State or New York City myself. I haven't seen much of the United States other than,
you're missing out, man.
The West Coast.
You're missing out.
I know. I got to make it out there.
Beautiful country.
Oh, yeah, definitely. It's one of those things where, you live in California and you kind of have this idea that we have it all here. We have the ocean, we have the mountains, we have the desert. There's no need to leave, much like
true.
I hear a lot of people in New York City think,
I mean, like, those are the biggest psychos in the world. If they're like, there's nothing good outside of New York City. You're like, there's everything else outside of here is, other than you can get a fucking sandwich at 4 a.m.
Yeah. Yeah. And, and I imagine people from California are like, they want to find a really good burrito anywhere they go. And they're disappointed when they're in, Kentucky and they can't find a good Mexican restaurant or something.
Right. But besides that, there's lots of other things they can offer. Well, that's interesting. Thanks for that. Anything else you want to add?
I think, basically I kind of want to get the idea out there that, California is more than just LA and the San Francisco Bay Area. Like, if you saw where I lived, you would never think, oh, this is the California I imagined based off, being in
like
LA.
The
it's so
super
different.
liberal. Yeah. All right, cool.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Oh, yeah, go ahead.
I was just going to say, thanks for calling. Appreciate it.
No problem, man. Take it easy.
Danny, everybody. All right, let's go to the goob. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 more callers. All right, maybe I have room for one more caller. Goop. Man, the regulars don't want to fucking unmute themselves, man. Never leave me hanging. What's up?
Oh, man, I had an interesting experience today. So I don't know how much you remember, but I got divorced a few years ago.
I do remember. Our first meeting was your divorce / foray into stand-up comedy.
Yeah, and my ex-wife and I lived together briefly, for a few months afterwards.
As well, yeah.
And if you remember, she started getting into witch shit.
Oh, I don't remember that. She was getting into the witch stuff. You dodged one there, pal.
Yeah. So as soon as we divorced, she started getting into witch shit, but I thought it was just a little phase. I thought, okay, yeah, she's getting divorced. She's going through a little phase, whatever. But I talked to her briefly today and wished her a Merry Christmas. And she's like, Happy Holidays. And I'm like, no, Merry Christmas. And she's like, well, I celebrate other things now.
Uh-oh.
And so I didn't press it, but I think she's gone full witch. I don't think it was just a phase.
She's like a pagan?
I think so. I don't know what else to think from that response.
Well, maybe the witches are super liberal generally, politically. I think they generally lean super, super left. So she might just be one of these Happy Holidays people.
No, she specifically said she celebrates other things now.
Maybe she's Jewish.
I'd be very surprised if she became Jewish. And I said that, and she I actually said that. I was like, what, are you Jewish now? And she was like, no, but then didn't elaborate. So I just moved on. But that was just a weird experience to be like, oh, this normal person, I'm pretty sure is now a full on witch. This normal person that I lived with for 10 years.
Yeah. 10 years. You drove her to witchcraft, Goob.
Yeah, I did.
Although I'm sure if she listened to some of your calls on this show, she'd be like, I don't know what you were like before, but she'd be like, I don't know if you've always been
No,
like this.
she would say that I'm exactly the same.
Oh, okay. All right. Fair enough.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But anyway, so if you want to talk about Candace Owens a little bit,
sure.
I think you might be more wrong about Candace than anything you've ever been wrong about before.
Give it to me.
Yeah, so Candace Owens, first of all, has proved many of the claims that she's made. She's also not proved a lot of the claims she's made, but with those claims, she's doing something that she's done many times now. She's making a very specific claim with, this person was at this location at this time or whatever, right?
Uh-huh.
And is waiting for the person she's making the claim against to accuse her of lying so that she can then drop the evidence and show that not only is this true, this person is also, not to be trusted. She's done this multiple times, long before the Charlie Kirk thing.
Okay, so I haven't really followed her.
This is her MO.
Yeah. I haven't followed her that much. I know from what I understand with the Charlie Kirk thing is she was Charlie Kirk was kind of having some beef with his Zionist donors because of, and then he said some stuff in the chats. She's like, I have these chats. People are like, that's bullshit. Then she released them. Since that, so what other stuff has come out that she has actually confirmed?
So most of it has just been lies from Turning Point USA. They'll say, they'll have a conflicting story, and then it's confirmed that Candace's version is the truth and that Turning Point USA is lying. Turning Point USA is even admitted to a couple of these things. They go,
I know they obviously confirmed those.
Whatever, I was mixed
those
up
texts.
in the moment.
Yeah, I know they confirmed those texts.
Yeah.
But,
and then the other accusations that she's made, the other people haven't denied them yet, which it is a bit strange when you have someone who's the #1 podcast in the world who's making a direct accusation against you that if it's not true, you don't just go, that's not true. And so she's sitting and waiting. This is her MO. She was doing this before Charlie Kirk. Like, this is what she does constantly, is she'll drop an accusation, wait for the person to say it's a lie, and then she drops the proof. But because they haven't,
so why didn't she just drop the proof then? What you waiting for?
The proof yet.
Like, see, I don't buy that shit where she's just like, oh, I'll only give the proof of all my crazy claims once they confirm or deny it. Like, she was essentially saying, like, yeah, the French Legionnaires are after me, and I contacted the FBI. She's like, why isn't the president
a lawyer? It's the same reason, like, a lawyer wouldn't want to present their arguments to the defense before going to court. Like, that's it's.
But court of what?
All I'm saying is that is what she's been doing for a long time, and it seems that that's what she's still doing. But more importantly than that, it doesn't matter if Candace is right. There is a reason why she is the #1 podcast in the world. There is a reason why so many people are tuning into her, because, you know, it's overwhelmingly obvious that, like, everything around us is bullshit. People are getting sick and tired of the bullshit and the lies. And so it's like the craziness that is coming out of Candace's mouth has become more palatable to a large portion of the population than the you know, goy slop bullshit that we're fed on a daily basis and have been for decades now.
Yeah,
so
I mean,
I think more importantly,
I could see,
even than her being right, is the fact that she's resonating with so many people, because people are just so sick and tired of it.
Resonating with retards, you're like, what does that mean? Like, I do.
Am I a retard, Danny?
Potentially. But, like, you know, I do wonder, like, what degree of her audience was, like, you know, former, like, QAnon wine moms who are, like, on to the new thing, because, you know, QAnon
here, let me make one other point, right? So when the entire media apparatus, including influencers, comes together to shout at you that you have to believe one specific narrative or else you're a bad person, historically, has that usually meant that that narrative is true or untrue?
Yeah,
and
I
is
agree.
that what is happening with Candace right now?
I mean, I think you can believe whatever you like. In my personal opinion on the Charlie Kirk thing is this is how I see this playing out. Is she's just going to be doing her thing. They're going to go to trial. They're going to do the trial. Like, everybody's like, he hasn't pled yet, and you're like, yeah, he hasn't pled yet because he's in a death penalty state. If you plead guilty, you're getting the death penalty, right? So you have to plead not guilty. That's the only thing that can maybe save you from getting the death penalty, is you plead not guilty. You either take a plea, or, like, there's maybe some piece of information that just, like, for whatever reason saves you from the death penalty. But the idea that they're like, oh, him not pleading guilty is, like, proof of Candace Owens. You're like, no, he's just trying to not get killed, because that would be an automatic death penalty for him. But, like, he's just going to go through his trial. He's going to get convicted. Maybe he'll get the death penalty. If he doesn't, he's going to get life in prison, and we'll just move on. And she'll just be still saying all the shit, and nothing will have come of it.
And the thing is, like, again, I don't even think it matters if Candace is right, because the mainstream narrative is obviously bullshit. You know, he's still the only one on trial, even though we know that there were tranny furries on Reddit who had prior knowledge
I agree.
To this,
there's
you know?
a good chance that there was some sort of left-wing conspiracy where he had conspirators. He had his, like, transgender girlfriend. I certainly,
right, but that's not being investigated. That's not being pursued.
You don't know that.
It's like, so
you don't know that. See, that's the thing is Candace Owens thinks, she's like, I don't have a direct line to the FBI. Therefore, they're not doing this stuff. They're like, who the fuck are you? They're like, we're not, like, tying you into our investigations. Also, you with the fucking biggest mouth in the world who stabs everyone in the back. They're like, what does the FBI owe Candace Owens to include her in their investigation?
Well, I wasn't even speaking about Candace Owens. There's no indication that any of that is happening. And just based off my experience with the world, I don't think it is happening. Now, if I'm proven wrong in the future, great. If 3 months from now they arrest a dozen trannies, yeah, the pipe bomb story's rather weird too.
Well, but the J6 pipe bomb, it's like we didn't know they were doing that investigation. They didn't specific, as far as I understand, they didn't.
Were they doing that investigation? Nothing happened for years, and then the new Project Veritas or whatever said, "Hey, we had a match with this lady, this DC cop or whatever."
It was like the Blaze,
and then like 3 days later, they go, "Oh, we got this guy." That doesn't really smell right to me either. Everything is bullshit. That's why Candace is resonating with people, is because just everything feels
I agree.
Bullshit.
I agree with the COVID thing. Like the whole COVID thing is like people will be distrustful of any like, the government, the media for the rest of their lives. But it doesn't mean that they are in these specific instances lying. They're just like, yeah, these people are so distrustful of you because you've lied. But like not everything's a conspiracy. Like some things are not conspiracies. There are conspiracies, but some things are not conspiracies.
Most things.
Most things are conspiracies?
Yeah.
I mean, that is probably what, but that is probably what the average Candace Owens fan thinks. They go, yeah, most things are definitely conspiracies.
But I do think, it's people, I've talked about this on your show a decent amount, and I talk about it on my show even more. It's like people don't understand conspiracies.
Plug your show.
I think it's
plug your show.
Yeah, Rewriting History with the Goob. It's @_the Goob on YouTube. But people think it's black and white. It's all or nothing. Like either it's this shadowy cabal controlling every single little detail, or it's nothing at all. There's no conspiracy at all. And like, there's no middle ground. And it's like, that's not how it works. It's like last week I was talking about the 100-year plan, which more of an 80-year plan, right? But I'm rounding numbers here, but like, people are like, okay, so the Jews have controlled every single thing in America for the last 100 years. Like, no, that's not what that means. It means they've had a plan that they've been working towards for the last 100 years. That doesn't mean that they've controlled every decision, but like to say, oh no, there's been no Jewish interest. The Jews have absolutely no influence over everything. Like those are the two extremes that people fall into. And they're like, it's all or nothing. That's not how it works. Conspiracies are much more subtle. They work a lot off of like peer pressure and norms. Archaeology, the biggest fucking archaeological conspiracy to have ever happened, is ongoing right now with NAGPRA, where archaeologists are actively erasing archaeology itself. Is that because every single archaeologist is in on a conspiracy, or is it because through the control of academia and things like that, people have put certain pressures and certain attitudes into certain places, and then it becomes a follow the leader thing. It's like, this is how this operates, this is what we do, and so that's what everyone does. You work in a place, and there might be things that were not explicitly explained to you, but that's how it fucking works. That's how it goes around here, right? So that's more of how conspiracies actually work. It's much more in this gray area. It's not this black or white, like they control literally every detail, or it's not happening at all. It's much more, just through like suggestion and social pressure, like the woke bullshit. Mm-hmm. Plenty of bullshit goes on, and it's whatever. I made my point. I know what you're saying.
I don't think it's such a crazy stretch to be like, yeah, some leftist transgender sympathizer killed Charlie Kirk. I know there's obviously details where people are like, those don't add up. But I imagine, until there's an actual trial and like all the information's released, there's probably these huge holes. If we'll ever see
any of it.
If we'll ever, yeah, I guess. But there's probably these huge holes in this stuff anyways, where you go, yeah, they don't release all the information. It's not a trial of public opinion.
Right. Like and I mean, like you said, Danny, we're not getting the JFK shit. You really think we're going to get this shit? Yeah.
I mean, again, but that's
kind
like
of
this
thing
logic.
Is how the conspiracies work.
Yeah. But that also is this logic.
You design things so that people are uncertain. You design things so that things will be uncertain. People are unclear about that. People don't know what to believe. They don't know what's conspiracy, what's not, and there's no way to prove it. And this leaves you with a feeling of helplessness. And every time they do manage to pull one over on you, or even if they're not, convince you that they're pulling one over on you, like all the conspiracy believers, right? Like that just goes to further those ends, because it further creates that sense of helplessness. It further creates that sense of, demoralization. Well, we'll never know. There's no way for us to know. They just did it in front of our faces and they got away with it. And it's like, even if they did or didn't, like that outcome of you feeling that way is beneficial to them. They want to create that.
Sure.
And so,
yeah,
right.
I mean, I understand that whole thing where they just, it's the demoralization thing where you just go, I don't even know what to believe. They just flood the zone with shit and you go, I guess you can kind of get away with anything here. But yeah, I don't know. I mean, I'm not gonna lie. You didn't convince me on this Candace Owens thing at all. Like if she has
not even the point about how the media all coming together over a singular point. I mean, just through past experiences, that should give you that Candace Owens is evil and she must be stopped.
I don't care about I don't give a shit.
And all of the main
right.
Honestly, that's not even all of the media.
Well, I'll tell you.
So, like when you saw all of the media saying you needed to get vaccinated, all of the media saying this and that, and it's like every time you have these massive campaigns, these inorganic campaigns where, every news, remember the clips of like all the local news stations, they'd have like 300 different local news stations literally
reading the same
that were apparently independent. And now you have the exact same thing with all of these influencers online because, things are shifting and they're doing that to Candace. And it's like, that should be a major red flag.
Yeah, I mean, I do feel like, with the Candace Owens thing, I think is different because the mainstream media, obviously, there's like the podcaster space, and people are just kind of, I think certain people are like, yeah, she's just nuts. I mean, that's my read on her. She's just fucking.
I think she's a little nuts.
She's like just batshit crazy, and she makes tons of money off of this stuff. And she would make less money if she just did a 2-hour episode where she's like, here are all my receipts versus kind of stringing everybody along every day. Like she knows what she's doing. She's very smart in this sense. But again, I'm like, if you
being a little nuts doesn't mean she's entirely wrong though.
No, but I'm like, if you have information that's pertinent to this investigation, just give it to the FBI. That's what a normal person would do. They wouldn't fucking do a daily live stream.
Okay.
I don't
still trust the FBI though.
I guess I don't know. So then, I guess everything's a conspiracy. Then I don't know. There's
certainly a hell of a lot going on in the FBI. Like if you're looking for conspiracies, the FBI, the CIA, those would be the places
so then
they
don't
would be.
give it to the conspiracy. Don't give it to the FBI. Just release it then, and let people make up their minds instead of this.
Yeah, that's what she's doing, kind of.
Kind of. No, she's not. She
kinda
says all this stuff.
Yeah, kind of. Again, she's making very specific accusations.
Yeah,
she's not going, hey, here's evidence. Where I got this accusation from. Here's where
I don't even need her sources.
The information is out there, so if people want to dig into it further, she is doing that.
I mean, she's making claims. Certainly, she's like, the French are after me, and now but again, she has no evidence. I don't know. All right.
Proven a lot of things. But anyway, so real quick, before you end it, I just want to, 30-second rant on the trannies, which is that we fight or we die. This is the collapse of the Western world happening right now. This same pattern of sexual liberation, mass immigration, inflation, and then finally trannies has repeated for thousands of years across civilizations, which inevitably leads to their end every single time, with the exception of Hitler put a pause on it with Germany. He ultimately wasn't successful, but he paused it and reversed it for a short time. People in the UK are still protesting for more migrants. They're obviously fucked. And when I say America is just as fucked or very, very close to just as fucked, people go, you're crazy. You're no different than the let them eat cake bitch or, the Roman leaders who were having an orgy while their nation burned. We are all kings now. We all get to go home to our cardboard castle that is climate controlled and eat infinite goy slop delivered to us by Uber Eats. We can all separate ourselves from reality in the same way that Roman leader did and the Marie Antoinette or whoever it was who said, let them eat cake.
Yep. That was right.
They were disconnected from reality, believing that shit. You are too, if you don't think that this is the end of Western civilization. It is not hyperbole. It is happening now, and we fight or we die. Thanks, Danny. You're the best.
Thanks, Goob. Merry Christmas. Happy holidays. Goob, everybody. All right, the phone lines are closed. We have lots of calls. Don't hang up. Do not hang up if you're on hold. Just because the phone lines are closed, you guys are all in the zone. By the way, I'm going to be on Fox News on Saturday night with Neil deGrasse Tyson. Forgot to mention that. That should be kind of funny. I got this thing from Dylan in the chat. Australian Naveed Akram served in the Israel Defense Forces, IDF. Dedi Suwada. I cannot find the link to this anywhere whatsoever. So I'll have to, what the Dedi's editor by Ed. All right, I cannot find it. I'll keep looking. Let's take a call here. Hello. You're on Low Valley.
Hello, Danny.
Hi, a girl.
You know who it is. It's Rachel.
How's it going, Rachel? My most favorite Patreon mod. You're doing a bang-up job. I love what you've done with the place.
You have a death wish.
I love what you've done with the place.
It's definitely ruffled some feathers. I'm not going to lie.
Hey.
I literally...
I'd be lying if I said that it was not by design.
It's been wonderful. I love it. I love it. But I called in specifically because Slav said I am a hole.
Yeah.
You know what? I am more than one hole, Danny. I am many holes.
You're three holes.
Look. 3. Okay.
At
well,
least.
You could be conservative. You're Jewish.
Yeah.
It's fine. But also I think it's interesting. I never shared this because there's too many schizo things to share, but my uncle is a flat earther, but more than that, it was reminding me about that because of the talk about gold, because he has gold and platinum and silver bars in his safe and his basement. And,
it's a must for the flat earthers. My husband meets him and he tells my husband all about how Oprah Winfrey has been assassinated and replaced with a clone. See, that's a fun guy to hang with at a party, though. Like that's like the Dos Equis guy. That's the most interesting man in the world.
He's really nice and wonderful and loves everybody. And, he loves Trump. But it's funny talking about the flat earth, and then he flips around about all the clones and the murderers and the replacements. And, I'm not really sure exactly where he stands. I don't know if it's like we're flat earth and we look through the telescope and they're, the other earths or the other planets are on the, pancake sides or whatever.
Right.
I've been forbidden by my family for asking in these family situations. But,
well, Christmas is coming up.
I have opportunities.
You have a good chance. So, ask him what he thinks about Candace Owens.
You know what? I really want to call them and get a little heart to heart. So, yeah, and anybody else, if they have any ideas, I will definitely ask. I love my uncle. It's just been really hard when I was a kid. He's really good in the computers, but he also believes that aliens brought us the computer language. But if I want my computer work done when I was 15 years old, I had to go through, hours of him explaining the aliens and the language. But he's like updating my, operating system and adding, things in their spyware or whatever. It's
fine.
cool, but
that's fine.
It's good. I'm sure aliens gave it to us, but man,
I mean, it sounds like he'd be a good guest for the show. Does he want to do a podcast?
Oh my God.
Does he want to do a podcast?
I remember being forced. I don't know, because he used to be against, radio waves, computers, everything. Then his son had a child, and so then they wanted to send like Apple videos. So then he got Wi-Fi and everything else to see pictures of his grandson, which makes sense. But also it's like he picks and chooses his like schizo amount of what he wants. Like he's afraid of EMS, but like, of course they have Wi-Fi for, video cameras. Yeah. But I mean, I remember.
He sounds like a religious person,
like,
to be honest. He sounds like how religious people kind of pick and choose. They go, yeah, I'm like, don't do that stuff, though.
Yes. He's actually dived really hard into religion. They both have. My mom actually told me at Thanksgiving she was really disturbed about how religious they become. And they religious earlier on, their kids went through, it wasn't Catholicism exactly. I don't think they had a communion, but maybe it was communion. But I was the only person in my whole family not to get baptized. Thanks, parents. Yeah. Maybe that was a good thing. I'm not sure, but
there's still time.
They had a lot more religion growing up. So yeah, but they really dove into it. They've gotten really like honed in on it, and I think it's all related. It's end of worldish, but also, I mean, again, the flat Earth. They won't explain who exactly is viewing us in the dome, but there's definitely someone replacing us with clones. So I can't.
Well, if your uncle wants to be on the show, have him at least call in. I would like to talk to this man. I'm sure this show's right up his alley.
Hard to convince him. Oh my goodness. If you listen to a lot of the stuff, and even like, there used to be like flying car stuff on AM radio. They talked about how great it would be, and he would just make me listen to it while he told me he won't buy his son a cell phone because it's going to fry his balls. Okay. But then we got to listen to the radio about this is why I was in college. This is great from my uncle. I'm like, again, I need he needs a computer. Yeah. He's a good guy.
He sounds like a fucking, I love him. Sounds like a hoot.
But I appreciate it. And, thank you, Danny. I appreciate everything you've done for me. I'll continue to, strike justice everywhere I see fit.
Top mod.
I appreciate it.
Appreciate it, Rachel. Good talking to you.
Sorry what Dylan did to you, but also, he's a jerk. But
that's fine.
I hope you have a great night.
All right,
good luck
you
for
too.
The other callers.
Happy holidays. Merry Christmas.
Thanks.
Okay, we got a few more callers here. So Dylan posted in the chat. This is a screenshot. This is what he says. This is what Slav is talking about, Danny. And this is from, I don't know what this, it says Australian Naveed Akram served in the Israel Defense Forces, IDF, Gaza, which is like not, this font looks off. This font doesn't look right to me. Then there's Jerusalem Post, says Naveed Akram is an IDF soldier that served in Gaza and returned to Australia. An account called, Junior said in a post with over 6 million views on 6 million views on X. Today he lost his mind and killed 12 Jews. So this is clearly the Jerusalem Post, out of context, but likely in context. If this is real, saying there's crazies on X who are saying he's an IDF soldier, and they're just quoting a guy named Junior with a V instead of a U on Twitter. It's crazy to me because sometimes I can't tell if you guys believe this shit or not. This is such obviously nonsense. And I don't know if, that's the thing that worries me. If you're just like, yeah, this is fun. Dylan, by the way, says, Danny, I provided the picture. Don't you fucking say I fully endorse it. I know Slav fully endorses it. Dylan's providing the context here. And Dylan did not say that he believes this, so I'm not ascribing this to him. But Slav said this as fact. And I will say that when you say that if you believe this, then I'm just like, you are such a fucking rube. Like, how am I supposed to listen to anything else you say? And here's another one. Australia. Naveed Akram was an Israel Defense Forces soldier who served in Gaza and returned to Australia. Today he lost his mind and killed 12 Jews. And here's a search about a man known as Naveed Akram from AI and Google. The latest information confirms the tragic mass shooting in Bondi Beach. However, there are several important details. The shooting occurred around 6. Yeah, it's like I got a fucking bridge to sell you. Really? All right, let's take another call here. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in for the final Low Value Mail of 2025. What a year it's been. What a fucking year, huh? Hello! You're on Low Value Mail. Who am I speaking with?
Hello. This is Ralph.
Ralph, how's it going, man?
Good. How are you?
I'm very well. What's up, Ralph?
Yeah. First time calling in. I've been watching, you and Ryan on the Boys Cast.
Hell yeah.
Yo, boys. Y'all are
boys.
the best podcast. But
That's right.
one of the things I want to talk about was the Australia thing. Because one of the callers on earlier, they were saying stuff about how, like, it's hard to, I guess, empathize with Jews.
Yeah.
Because of, like...
Dylan? Yeah, because what's going on in Gaza,
Yeah,
which I understand. That's probably a fairly common sentiment. I certainly understand it.
I mean, it's a fairly common sentiment if you don't understand Islam at all.
Okay, let's hear it. And when I say that, I don't subscribe to that, but I understand how people would, I guess is what I'm saying. But go ahead.
No, I get it. But like in the Quran and in the Hadiths that they have, is a whole bunch of different verses where it says, oh, if you have non-believers, you have to go kill them. If they're Jews and Christians, then you try and convert them. If they don't want to convert, you say, okay, you be a dhimmi. That means you have to pay a tax to be able to, keep your religion, but you're going to be a second-class citizen.
Right.
And once you can't pay, because it's super high tax, so once you can't pay, or if you say, hey, I'm not going to pay this, they just kill you. They say, hey, become a Muslim or we'll kill you.
Mm-hmm.
There's a hadith. It says the final day will not come until the Muslims kill all the Jews, and the trees and the rocks, they'll say, oh, Muslim, oh, slave of Allah, there's a Jew behind me, come and kill him, except the Garkat tree, because that's the tree of the Jews. It's like even if Israel wasn't doing anything to these people, they think that Islam has to be the world religion for, the end of times to come, for Allah to come.
Yeah.
It's their mission to make the world that way. And they say in their book, hey, force these people to become this way. And if you can't force them, kill them. That's why they blow up buildings. That's why they drive cars into Christmas markets. It's because they hate you. It's like you draw a picture of their prophet and they go and shoot up your newspaper.
Yeah, and they don't only attack Jews. Like the Christians are a common target of theirs, at least in Europe.
Yeah, like in Nigeria.
And Nigeria, but I'm just talking about the European Christmas markets that they tend to fuck up on the regular.
And it's the craziest thing because, I mean, it's kind of like what we're saying earlier, like with all the kind of the things that they show with these photos of like Palestinians, like it's horrible. And I can understand, like, oh my goodness, you see all these people dying and they're saying it's a, just war. You're like, I feel some type of way about it.
Sure.
But then it's like, how did this start? Okay. A whole bunch of people went and killed random civilians at a festival. And then you have people in America, in Britain, in Australia, where like all around the world talking about, oh, this is resistance, it's not always going to look nice.
Yeah.
And, oh, these are freedom fighters. And it's like, bro, y'all have no military equipment, way less people, and you're poking the bear and then throwing up your hands like, oh my gosh, I'm a victim now that I'm getting hit back.
Yeah.
Like,
and also
about 4'6".
Yeah. Also that is by design. Like, I mean, they have these reinforced tunnels. You're like, why couldn't the kids go in the tunnels? Like, not even, let's just like remove, the entire population. But you're like, so these kids are dying, like, why don't you put the kids in the tunnels?
Exactly. And not only that, it's like you had all these money for tunnels. Why didn't you put that into anything else?
Well, they don't.
Anything else.
Again, I still like at the end of the day, I still do understand somewhat where they're coming from, where they're like, yeah, we we want you guys out of here. This is all our land. And, this is more important than This is in the grander scheme of things, they're like, we want our land back. I'm more of just a pragmatic realist where I'm like, you're not getting it back. You can try and, have some sort of compromise solution, not a final solution, where you can somewhat compromise. But if your stance is just all or nothing, where you're like, well, then it's going to be nothing, unfortunately. That's just kind of how it's going to shake out.
Yeah, and I'm pretty much like 100% in agreement with that, because it's like, okay, like I said, they don't have the resources to even fight a war with these people.
No.
So they're just going to have to accept that either they kill you or you just stay in whatever position you're in now. And the only reason they're not just killing them is because the rest of the world puts pressure on them.
Yeah.
Once
and they're rebuilding.
Or the world starts to agree with them.
Yeah. And they're rebuilding and refortifying, and we'll literally be back to where we were with some point in the next 20 years. It'll just be like some sort of, conflict all over again, and it'll just rinse and repeat, and it'll never end. And maybe I'm, cynical, but
I think you're probably right. But
yeah, this isn't ending because you're not getting all of Israel. So like, I don't know, you're going to have to reach some sort of compromise. It's not a realist position. It's a very much just like, oh, this is what we want. You go, great. It's not happening.
Yeah, definitely. And there's some things I do agree with your other callers on. Like, Jewish people definitely do not do themselves any favors. Like, I don't think it's all Jewish people, not even close. But it's like when you have the ADL, when you have AIPAC, when you have people saying, hey, no BDS, oh, you can't talk bad about Jews. And this is the crazy thing, because me personally, I think Jews are white. But it's
fuck yeah. Say that again. Say that again.
Oh, you can
say it again.
I think Jews are white. I think Jews are white.
You dirty dog. That's right. Say it for all the people in the back.
The worst part is when you see these people and they go, it's okay to hate white people as a white person. Because I'm not white. I'm black.
Yeah.
Not like my parents are from Haiti.
Okay.
So
yeah.
I'm not anything close to like, it's not like, oh, I feel a connection to these as a white brother or whatever. It's just like, you look at it, it's common sense. These people are saying, oh, eradicate white people. They're the worst.
Yeah.
All this bad stuff about white people. And then they go, oh, I'm Jewish. I'm actually Jewish. So it doesn't count. It doesn't apply to me. Oh, you can't talk about bad about Jews. What about World War II? What about Hitler? And it's like, this is throwing rocks and hiding your hands. Like,
yeah. And look, and I've said this before, the Jews who did that, there was one thing in common, and they were all ultra liberal Jews. None of the
100%.
Jews on the right were saying this. They were just joining the chorus of people on the left where it was like, yeah, it's fucking sick to tell white people we should exterminate them. Like 10 years ago when this was really popping off, I was like, this isn't a good idea. I'm like, people should not be saying this. And it was more from a standpoint, I'm like, this is going to blow up in your face so badly. I'm like, if you guys think this is working out, I know this was like trendy to be like shitting on white people or whatever, and white people are bad. And you're like, well, look where it got you. 10 years later, you go, is this the victory that you thought this was going to be? This could not have gone worse for those people.
And it's kind of like, because for me, I never really got into politics until like Trump first ran. And I was like just graduating high school and everything.
Mm-hmm.
So I wasn't really up in that. But they were like running Hillary Clinton and telling us, oh, Donald Trump was racist.
Right.
And like I said before, I'm Haitian. And all the stuff that Hillary and Bill Clinton has done in Haiti, I was looking at it and I was like, they're telling me this person is like, if you don't vote for this person, you're morally evil.
Right. And you're like, these aren't the good guys.
Evil. Yeah, exactly. So like from that point on, I was like, there's no way these people have any like good in their heart. There's no way there's any good intention in what they're trying to do. And like I said, I don't I'm not racist. I don't hate white people, but I have been getting like a seething like hatred for like Germany specifically, because these people.
You don't like Germans?
Goodness, maybe not like German like citizens, but just like the German. I don't know what it is in that country, where it's like, what, after the Holy Roman Empire, then World War I, then World War II, and now they're like pretty much the center of the EU, and they're trying to control with all these like like restrictions, these like methods to get around end-to-end encryption. It's like, Karl Marx, wasn't he German as well? It's like, what is in that water in the Rhine or whatever's going on?
This is the most hot take. Germans are bad.
Bro,
I mean, my best friend's German.
It's not that.
He's a good guy.
It's the idea, I think, that when they have an idea, they think, okay, this is the right way to do it, and everyone else has to do it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean,
we need to enforce it on everyone else.
Yeah, they are doing some wacky shit. They are doing. You are in the history of the show, 169 episodes. You are the first person of any color, creed to espouse pure German hatred. And I like.
No, I mean,
I like
a lot of them are right, but Underline or Merkel or
sure,
it's just like, I don't know what is up with their politicians, man. Isn't Klaus Schwab German too?
Yeah, he is. He is German.
Yeah, exactly.
Peter Thiel.
What is up? It's this dude. It doesn't even want to be Antichrist or something like that.
Mr. Antichrist happens to be from Germany. Little on the nose. All right, man.
Yeah.
Thanks for calling in. That was a good call. Appreciate it.
Hey, for sure. I appreciate it, man.
Have a happy holidays and a Merry Christmas. Imagine it's a Merry Christmas. Dylan Farnham says, I posted the pics, not confirming anything. FYI, conspiracies are the opportunities taken afterwards. Nick Mullen 9 something says, Danny, I love you, but actually spend the time to look at her evidence before saying she doesn't have evidence. Kash Patel said Epstein had no clients, and Danny says, give FBI your evidence. Again, I asked Goob, I've asked people, I go, what is the actual evidence? Not circumstantial evidence, not a bunch of people wearing a certain color t-shirt. Actual evidence. I don't know if we're maybe talking past each other here. I'm saying like real evidence, like evidence that would be admissible in a court of law. And again, if she has it, yeah, fuck it. Don't give it to the FBI. Just drop the receipts. I'm very open-minded. I don't know if you guys can tell. I'm a pretty open-minded guy. It's like, I would love nothing more than for her to expose these people. And I'm waiting. Dylan Farnham says, tell this guy to read the Talmud, for fuck's sake. And then Dylan says, Netanyahu funded Hamas, you moron. I don't think it was that cut and dry that he just funded them, but he certainly allowed them to access money. All right. 2 more calls, and then we're going to wrap this up. Phone lines are closed. Let's go to Charlie in Florida. And thank you again for joining me. Tonight, Charlie from Florida.
Danny, how you doing, man?
What's happening?
Danny, can you hear me?
Yep, loud and clear.
Oh, hey, man, how you doing? Yeah, it's been a wild year, huh?
Oh, yeah.
2025.
2025. Yep.
Wild.
Yep. I'm ready to put this
one of the few podcasts that I enjoy. Yeah, one of the few podcasts I really enjoy. I mean, I like this one in the bathhouse, but the Boys Cast. You guys always have such funny takes on everything.
Thank you. Yeah, we work hard.
And yeah, I mean, it's just funny because I like listening to people who who have innovative takes on things, because it's just like all you hear mainly from the media and in general is just the same shit thrown back and forth, and it's like people just repeat the same things and the same phrases over and over again. It's like it's not interesting at all.
Yeah, I mean, trust me, I watch a lot of that stuff,
like the whole Rob
so that I specifically don't say that shit.
Yeah. Yeah. Are you on Twitter a lot or not really? 'Cause
Oh,
Twitter's
God.
like probably the worst of all that stuff.
I'm on Twitter an unhealthy amount. Let's see what my screen time today on Twitter is. Already today, 2 hours.
Oh my God, yeah, it's horrible.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I go on there to like
I feel
prepare
like
for the
if you ever
show,
have-
and I spend too much time on Twitter. I really do think I'm like, I should be fine with an hour. But I somehow manage more.
It's just amazing to me. Like I talk to my sister about this sometimes, about how like it's just amazing to me that people at some point figured that like just yelling at people on Twitter all day is somehow going to solve anything. At complete strangers all day long, just like screaming at people.
I saw you getting into a little.
You know?
I saw actually in my comments a little spat you got in with somebody because his engagement was better.
Oh,
than
I
yours.
commented on one of your things.
Yeah, and then he's like, "I get way more."
Oh, that was
views.
hilarious.
And I was like, and then I actually looked at the guy's page. I'm like, you have 3 impressions on your tweet. I'm like,
He
I
has
was
like 25 followers or whatever. I don't know.
Yeah, you could really, if you're
like a bot profile.
I don't know, but if you can get like, if you are like a type of person who likes to argue, you can get fucking sucked in to just arguing with some of the dumbest people on earth. And then and then you're just like, why did I do this? What kind of use of my time is that? But you can get sucked into it for sure.
I didn't respond to him. Yeah, because no, I mean, it just doesn't make sense to just go back, like you said, just to go back and forth, you know, with people like that. It's just, what are you going to accomplish, you know?
Oh yeah. I mean, I have 10 times a
make
week.
A good point to somebody.
I have 10 times a week where someone will leave a comment and I'm like about to respond, and then I'm like, why do this?
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, the whole Rob Reiner thing is really crazy. I think what's the most disturbing part about it is just how people respond now when a tragedy happens. It's like everybody instantly makes it political, then instantly, well, like they feel bad, they don't feel bad. Like obviously, you know, it's horrible what happened, and it's just a terrible story.
Yeah. I mean, probably
he made a lot of great stuff, and he made a lot of.
Yeah. And kids probably kill their parents, like probably more than we realize. They're not famous, so you
I'm sure
don't hear about them as much. But it's probably, and it's an interesting thing where no matter how rich and successful you can be, there's shit like just regular life shit that you cannot avoid. Like, you know, just like the same shit that like poor people have to deal with, like super rich and successful people still, like this stuff comes to their doorstep and their fucking kid murders them because he's just like some junkie.
Yeah.
Psychopath, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, it's crazy, and like it's, and fun. The other thing that's crazy is people. I mean, being like this wave of shock that people have at Trump's reaction to it. Like, do you not understand that that's the way Trump has been for like 10 years now?
Yeah,
like
I
really
thought. I mean, even me. I was like, that's a bit much even for Trump. I was like,
oh, well, yeah, for sure.
Like I wasn't expecting him to just be like, rest in peace, Rob Reiner, one of the greatest filmmakers in the country's history. I wasn't expecting that. Yeah. I was expecting probably something in between that and what he actually wrote, like somewhere in the middle of that.
It was kind of strange. It was a little over the top. Like, I didn't expect it either. It was kind of shocking. Like a little bit soon to get into that stuff.
Well, also to say like he essentially died of Trump derangement syndrome. Like his kid murdered him. He didn't die of Trump derangement syndrome.
That was basically when I first saw it. I thought it was a fake tweet.
I know, me too. Which is, by the way, one of the most annoying things about Trump is that he makes you log on to Truth Social to verify his psycho tweets.
Oh, I know. Yeah, he doesn't put it on Twitter. He never puts anything on Twitter.
No.
That was wild. It's a wild thing, but
yeah,
be interesting to see how that whole thing plays out. I guess the son's guilty, which is crazy.
Yeah, I mean, I guess shit happens. I don't know. Stuff happens. It's a nation of 350 to maybe 450 million people. It happens. I don't know. It's just what is
your
famous,
take on the Candace Owens thing?
My take on the Candace Owens thing is, I mean,
the Erica Kirk meeting with her. Did you hear about all that?
Yeah, that was today that they met. I
didn't hear anything that happened from it, but
I have no idea. Like, again, Candace Owens makes way too much money off of this right now, in my opinion, to tomorrow just be like, so Bridget Macron has a dick. And you're like, all right. Like, she's kind of half her audience will disappear if she's just like, yeah, me and Erica Kirk patched things over and I'm not going to talk about it anymore. Suppose it's possible. If I were a betting man, that would not be the outcome I would bet on, but I suppose it's possible. I think she's just going to be like, I'm asking these vague questions. She's going to ask them all throughout the trial. I imagine they won't have a verdict in the trial for a year, maybe even longer. I mean, he's not even he's not even entering a plea, I believe, until May. I think I read either March or May. So like we're like months away from him just entering a plea. So I don't know. She's gonna, in my opinion, she's gonna milk this for all it's worth, and nothing will come of it on her end. She'll just have a bunch of open-ended questions, which she will point to. He'll get convicted, either get the death penalty or life in jail. Most people will move on and just be like, that was just this thing that happened. And, you know, her audience will just be, it'll be like JFK. We're asking questions for life, and there will be no conclusion. There will never be some piece of evidence that proves her right that she can point to.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see. You know, you never know what happens. The other thing, I was curious, do you ever talk to that Flat Earth Dave anymore?
I don't talk to Flat Earth Dave. I could. I mean, I don't know what I would talk to him about. I don't believe in Flat Earth.
That was just one of the most entertaining. I mean, I'm not a Flat Earth person. I don't believe in it.
It was entertaining.
It's probably like one of the dumbest things.
I could get him back on, but it would just be the same episode. Like, he would just say this stuff, and I would just kind of bite my tongue and nod along and go, okay. And then, you know, and they throw some facts at you and go, well, I don't really know enough about, I don't know, even know cosmology. Like, I don't know enough about it to like, you know, to instantly disprove this stuff. I know it's false, obviously, but like it's just like I already had him on, so I don't know. I guess I could have him on again. If people want him on, he'll come on.
The funniest thing is when people say, like, where do the rockets go when they leave Cape Canaveral? Like they're like, the rockets must they're going to hit the dome if they go straight up, so they have to go sideways. That's one of the funniest things.
I mean, it's nonsense.
What are you talking about?
Yeah, it's you know, it's fun. I like it. It's certainly entertaining to me, the Flat Earth stuff. And it is one of those things where this is pretty harmless.
Well, right. Yeah, it's not really like if you believe it, you believe it. If you don't, like, nobody really, it doesn't stop anything.
Yeah, it doesn't stop anything.
You know?
Yeah,
it's not hurting anything.
All right, Charlie, I got to let you go. Good talking to you,
have a good Christmas and a good New Year.
Thank you. You too. Charlie for Florida, everybody. All right, final call of the night. I don't know. Should I have Flat Earth Dave back on? Drop a comment in the live chat right now. Should we bring Flat Earth Dave back on for round 2? I'll do it. I know he'll do it. Hello, final call of the night. Who am I speaking with?
Yes, Danny.
Yes, you made it.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, who am I speaking with?
I can't believe it. Awesome, man. I've been a fan for so long.
Awesome. Thanks for calling in. What's your name or pseudonym?
Walter. My name's Walter.
Walter. What's up, Walter? How's it going?
Good.
Is the Earth flat, Walter?
Kind of. It's almost likely not.
Mm.
I think everybody pretty much knows that.
Yeah.
But it's interesting. I mean, you can get sucked in so quick.
Yeah.
You watch one of these videos and bada boom, bada bang.
Yeah. I mean,
I did have something I wanted.
Yeah, go ahead.
Go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say, yeah, I understand the point. You could throw off enough kind of stats and data points, and kind of leave other ones out, and you go, that seems like a compelling argument, but I'm not buying it. But I might just be like a rube. I literally just might be a fucking normie rube, who just no offense to rubes, and I just believe anything I'm told.
No, it almost seems like it's one of those things you get caught in for a lifetime and just go around and around.
Yeah.
And you're never going to get anywhere until
it's kind of what I said off the
new.
top of the show, which is the point is that this never resolves itself. Like, that's almost the entertaining, like, fun part of this, is that it never resolves. They're like, here's a photo from space. Right. You go, that's fake. And you go, okay. Like, literally, the only way is you have to take these people up in a fucking rocket so that they could see it for themselves.
It's the same thing with the Jewish thing, I think. It's just going to go on back and forth, which is, I mean, some of these callers today are just tough to listen to. But you're going to make it with this because you're such a good host. You really are great at this.
Thank you. I think there's a little something for everyone. And by the way, Slav says, bring on Richard Spencer since you won't have Nick Fuentes on. I actually DM'd Nick Fuentes. He didn't get back to me.
God.
He didn't get back to me. He's an interesting guy. He's,
Nick Fuentes. The
zeitgeist.
He was on... Go ahead. Sorry.
I said the zeitgeist.
Yeah, he was on the Red Scare.
Yeah, I know.
You remember?
See, I don't have a...
What's her name? Lost her opportunity at the movie.
Yeah,
Dasha,
see, I don't have a conventional entertainment career, so there's nothing that could be taken from me.
Precisely.
Right,
I know these guys. This whole thing. This is going to go on. Okay. I wrote down a couple of points.
Yeah, let's hear them.
That I wanted to
send us home.
The red heifers and the third temple in Jerusalem.
Okay.
The building of this. I think, or at least it seems to me that this evangelical belief in what's happening in the Middle East has been prepared for years.
Yeah.
I mean, they're trying to either force something. I don't know.
Yeah. Well, that's the reason why the evangelicals are all Zionists, is because, like, that's why they support Israel so hard. Generally, is because I think they want this conflict to bring Jesus back.
Yeah, and it doesn't seem to be a topic of conversation. Which I swear I talked about this like 2 years ago at Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
Like, hey, you guys heard about the red heifers
the red heifers
cultivating?
Yeah. No. I mean, that's a lot of the Messianic Jews. They go, yeah, we want this conflict because that's how we bring about the Messiah to come back, which is unfortunate because they're going to be doing this, saying this shit for literally time immemorial. They're just going to keep saying this. They go, yeah, it was just this time's the time.
Or until they, I think, Danny, that it's going to happen until, like, now they're saying that there's reason to go to war with Syria.
Yeah.
It does say in the Bible that Damascus has to be destroyed also.
Interesting. I mean, there were two by the way, I didn't even mention this. 2 Iowa National Guardsmen were killed in the last few days in Syria. Why is the National Guard in Syria? What are they doing?
Aha. Interesting. Well, yeah, it just adds to the pot.
Yeah. Just adds to the shit. Maybe there might be someone who has an answer, but I was like, why is the National Guard from either Idaho or Iowa? They're in Syria. I go, what are they doing there? Yeah.
Well, you have, I think, a lot of converging issues.
Mm-hmm.
We have like the issues of resources, and then we have the issue of technology. And have you heard of Ray Kurzweil.
Of course, the Singularity
guy.
Yeah.
He now is the head, quote, futurist at Google.
Yeah, no, I know that. Yeah.
He's all that shit he wrote in his book is like apparently, I don't like just the blueprint. And I think that all this trans stuff is just just the little tadpole tip of the beginning of the real transformation.
Oh my God, Goob is pulling out his fucking hair right now. Goob has to fight robots now?
You know?
Oh man.
Yeah.
I could see that though. I mean, it seems like somewhat of a foregone conclusion that, we will be, partially in some capacity, like not organic human life. Like there'll be, with the neural link and all that stuff and the augmented reality, the glasses, there'll be some.
It seems like it.
Yeah.
In Kurzweil's book, at the very end, the wildest, or not at the very end, but when he talks about the singularity, at that point, stuff is so wild. I mean, people are afraid now, like, oh, we're right there, it's going to happen. But it's just the beginning.
Yeah.
There's, first, augmented reality where we walk around with, sort of a screen telling us about things in the world. But then it's going to get to changing atoms and augmenting. I mean, the guy's book is wild.
Oh yeah, I mean,
then the heat. It's going to take so much energy. We're basically going to have to create like a stellar object.
Well, they're going to have nuclear power plants everywhere. That's essentially the next thing. Is we went from nuclear is good, then nuclear is bad, and then now. It's like almost like gambling, sports gambling, how they're like, yeah, sports gambling's so bad for you. And then they're essentially like, yeah, we need the revenues. So now it's good again. Nuclear is going to be the same thing where they're like, yeah, we need the power. So I guess nuclear is good because we need it. And weren't you saying it was bad for most of you?
I know. It's funny you mentioned that. I live in New Hampshire and I actually went online today to, I had to buy a lotto ticket, but I had a couple drinks. I'm like, well, I'm not going to go to the gas station. Like, fuck it. Cause it's like $1 billion right now.
I know. Oh, you know what? I forgot something. My wife's going to be mad at me. I forgot to get a power.
No, you got to get it.
What time do I have until?
But I saw it on there. It was like, they've made like the games online.
Yeah.
You can just
like slot machines.
Your fucking money away.
Oh yeah. I mean, there's now people suing these like DraftKings and all this stuff because they're like, yeah, I had like a really bad gambling addiction and it was kind of predatory and I lost like $800,000 playing fucking slot machines on my phone.
I know.
I mean, the thing is they designed your phone like a slot machine and then they put literal slot machines inside your phone. And you're like, some people are just not built for that kind of stimulus at all.
I know. What will they not do? This, but you always come back to the realization that this is a world where anything is possible. Literally anything. Any level of torture, any level of love, any level of creativity. So we have to stay positive. And man, people are getting it hard. But the government's sending it to us hard.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You got to stay positive.
What do you expect?
Yeah, you got to stay positive. All right, Walter, I got to let you go. But that's a good way to wrap this
Danny.
up. Thanks,
love
man.
You.
Appreciate it, man.
Love you.
Love you, Walter. I love you, Walter. And I love you all. Dylan Farnham says, Walter sounds like he attended Stonewall riots. Just call him gay, man. What are you pussyfooting about here with this stuff? All right, everybody. It's 9:45. That's been the show. Thank you very much for joining the final episode of Low Value Mail for 2025. What a year it's been. I hope you guys all have a lovely holidays, Christmas, Kwanzaa. Is it Kwanzaa yet? When's Kwanzaa? December 26th to January 1st. All right. Well, have a lovely Kwanzaa for those of you that celebrate, a lovely Hanukkah, a Merry Christmas. And I think those are the only holidays that we give a shit about, even though Kwanzaa was invented by the CIA and it's fake as shit. But that's been the show. Thank you very much, everybody, for supporting the show all year. Watching, your likes, everything. Not a lot of many people are tweeting about it, but that's fine. That's fine. It's not a big deal. But that's it. That's it for me. I'll be back tomorrow night. Hopefully with a new episode of The Bathhouse. As far as I know, we're good to go, but things change. Hopefully it won't be a problem, though, and we'll be back tomorrow night. All new episode of The Bathhouse on this channel, 9 p.m., live from maybe the Stand Green Room, maybe the studio. One of them. We'll do our best. Banging lineup. And if you have cable TV, I will, for some reason, be on Fox News on Saturday night with Neil deGrasse Tyson. Don't ask me why. All right, that's it. Shout out to Gerard, by the way. Killing it. Killing it on the production. And fuck all of you who told me that the sound didn't work for that video. You really fucked this show up. Really fucked it up. I don't know why I look at the chat. I look at the chat to be like, is it working? And then you guys lie to me. You lie to me. Not cool. All right. Good night, everybody. Thank you for your support all year. I appreciate it all. If you want to join our lovely Patreon chat, patreon.com/lowvaluemail, MAIL. Otherwise, that's it for me. I'm going to go take a piss. Am I missing anything? Nope. You're all great. Love you all. See you tomorrow. But if you only watch the show, then I'll see you in the new year. Bye!
Really a poet, you know it, all my shit heroic. Empathic abilities, yeah, my face be also stoic. Bleep, blow up, nigga, that just means I'm working. They see me as a leader, so that's why I'm Captain Kirkin. These tracks from the stars, that much is for certain. You can feel this hit if you up or if you hurt. I'm raising my stock, not talking my feet in some Birkin. Number Johnny 5, got a fucking short circuit. Bring the track to life when I spit phenomenally. When I hit, she feel that shit in her abdominals. These rappers make me laugh like comic view, they comical. You know I got a ball out, I hit the track running just like Sonic do. They don't wanna turn on my light switch. Yeah, they was trying to get me on my hype shit. Yeah, they don't wanna turn on my light switch. Yeah, and they tried to down me up some KO type shit. Yeah, they don't wanna turn on my light switch. Yeah, now we pulling up fresh on some flight shit. They don't wanna turn on my light switch. Yeah, they don't wanna turn on my light switch. They don't wanna turn on my light switch. Yeah, they was trying to get me on my hype shit. Yeah, they don't wanna turn on my light switch. Yeah, then they tried to down me up some KO type shit. Yeah, they don't wanna turn on my light switch. Yeah, now we pulling up fresh on some